What's going on, family? Welcome to Lapeef Network. We're going to introduce the crew. We got Mr. Marcus White, Trev, Smooth, Sweeney, Brown Sugar, Chanel is taken. Jazz. How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can hear you.
You in there.
Jazz, I'm loving the hair.
Oh, thank you. Jazz? Oh, okay. I thought you seen my hairstyle a little earlier. Good to see you guys, man. We're missing a couple of people, man. I'll check on them in a few. But happy Thursday, man. It's one day away from Friday. That's typically what everybody's looking for, right? Looking forward to that Friday so they can kick it. Spend time with family, relax, all that good stuff. Let me go ahead and get the housekeeping out the way. Shout out to the sponsor, T. Hanley, Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. 40% off, right? You get 40% off for life. No, 40% off with a free gift. You get 20% off for life when you become a member. So make sure you guys click that link that's in the description and fill the T's, as I always say. Let me see if I go ahead and switch it up a little bit.
I was about to say, Jay, I think your music's still playing in the background.
Oh, is it? Oh, is that better?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm a little rusty, man, on the ones and twos, but I'm going to get it together. It's coming all together, man. It's coming all together. Also, shout out to Assured Man King on top. If you guys are wondering, my beard is just looking so amazing right now. This is what did the trick. I've been using Assured Man a little bit over 4 or 5 months now. Excellent product, smells good. The beard glistens. You know, when that sun beam on it, they be like, what you put in your beard? Assured Man. I just send them a link and let them know what it is. But this is for all my men out there. And if you women got some whiskers too, feel free to fill this Assured Man. It's also skin friendly, so you can rub this all over your body, man. So whatever's left over when you get done with your beard, feel free to rub it in. You got ashy lips, put it on there too. You got ashy knees, put it on there. If you want your chest to be nice and shiny when you hop up out the shower and go into the bedroom with your lady, Assured Man to do it too, man. Does all the tricks, man. It's an all-in-one system right here. I don't know, man. I just feel a little different right now, man. I ain't been around this setup in a while, so it just it's like I'm in a cockpit right now. You guys, if you see my area, man, it's a whole station right here. I got things here, things there. I'm just excited.
You say you in the what?
Cockpit, like a plane.
I was gonna let it go, Marcus.
I gotta find that video again for you, Trev, huh?
That was Marcus, man. I let it go, man. I let it rock. I was like, damn, nah. Don't do it. Marcus got him in there. No.
Oh man, y'all. I'm a fan for you, and I'm gonna wind up playing it for you, Tress. I thought about that earlier. I'm about to get to the trail because he's gonna already kick it off. Can't hold back. Anyhow, hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We did have Congo English. He became a member before the stream started. So shout out to Congo English, and I appreciate the follow on IG as well, man. I see you. Just want to say thank you for that. We got Angela Swift is in the house. Life with Amanda. What's up, cousin? Good to see you in the building. Nice for you to come through and show support. When she is not on the panel, I want to see if you're going to be there. That's going to be the real loyalty right there. Conversations with MJ. You and your partner in crime was causing a lot of conflict. A lot of rah-rah on Tuesday. You got the gentlemen all riled up, man. If you guys missed that King Talk, go ahead and take a look at it, man. Conversations with MJ and Venus was on there. They came and just shook up the whole panel. Had people running off the panel. It's crazy. Therese Lay, Shoot a Fat with Smooth podcast. I'll make sure y'all go ahead and check them out, man. That's smooth. Brother Smooth right there. Wifey podcast was going on. So salute to you, JR. Shannon Duncan, yo, what's going on, brother? I don't typically see Sweeney in the chat this early, but he does come in the chat. But Sweeney is ready, so I know he'll be paying attention to that. I already know what type of time Sweeney is on when I see his head bopping like this, and he and laughing and stuff. I know he in
He
the
on
chat.
one.
Yeah, he on one. And that's when the medibles kick in, right?
Said his head be bopping like what?
Oh yeah, I missed that.
Pause, bro. Pause.
I missed that goal, mistake. Yeah, you called his ass.
I might go back in retirement, man. I thought we was grown here. Trying to turn this light down a little bit.
Hey, that's two so far. None of them was me.
I know, but you co-signing though. You co-signing. As soon as you hear you and that laughing hard as hell, you like you ain't had an edible. So I know y'all.
I think you doing it on purpose, talking about the cockpit and your head bopping and all this other shit.
I mean, it really don't cross my mind like that.
Yeah, JR gaslighting right now, man.
God damn it, Trev, your microphone.
Lord Giatron, member for 15 months. Says big shout out to the beautiful and lovely ladies tonight. Peace to all the fellas. Blessings to you. Oh no, Lord Gia. It's not Geotron. G-Tron. I think I said it correctly. Yeah, call in on the back end, man. Hopefully I got the name correct. If I didn't, my apologies, sir.
I think it's Jatron.
Jatron?
Jatron.
Like Patron? Jatron, gotcha. All right. What's going on, Roof? Roof is in the house. Yeah.
Internet working good, microphone not.
Yeah, I was having some microphone issues, man, a little earlier, but we got it together, man. Appreciate the restart, as y'all always say. Restart the computer. When all fails, just reset or unplug. I think we're about ready, man. Let's go ahead and get this stream started. Just Swift says JI is straight as a parallel line. There you go. At least somebody know, man. You got a fan too right here, Roof. That's fine. MG show. Yeah.
To God be the glory.
Man, all the ladies look lovely. It's taking hair popping, Chanel, Jasmine, roof and forehead popping. Everything is.
I think we're good to go. You got.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got two of them going on here. I knew some was off. Then we got it together. Anyhow, let's go ahead and get the show started, man. We got a lot of politics going on, so we're gonna kick it off with that, man. With the politics. So somebody out here calling our potential future president the old Haktua. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip, man, and we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Y'all ready? Y'all good?
And then there's the DEI press secretary telling you that the DEI vice president is the future of the party here. And so the future looks kind of dim for the Democrats here, but this is no shocker either. Kamala Harris, she's the original Haktua girl. That's the way she got where she is. And the party's going downhill if it's in her hands.
That was tough. That was harsh.
A little icebreaker, man. They said it was harsh, man. You guys think that was harsh?
He bogus for disrespecting that Indian woman like that.
Marcus is gonna come with something, man.
He shouldn't be talking about that Indian woman that way.
Okay.
Trump the original nepotism, baby. So they both the originals or something.
All right. I'm gonna go to you, Jasmine. Your face frown. I'm assuming it's your first time seeing that video, right? Okay. So how did you feel? Did you feel offended?
Very offended.
Okay. Well,
Just trying to figure out where he even got that from. Like, you don't have no facts or receipts or nothing to back that up. You're just gonna throw a statement out there like that and not like give no context. That's just strange. But I mean, I guess it's not unexpected right now in this time. So I don't even know why I'm surprised.
All right, we got Andre Cable says it's unprofessional. I'm curious about how you feel about it, Chanel. Miss Coco. Oh, we can't hear you, Chanel. I don't know what you got going on. You over there struggle streaming over there. You on mute.
She's on mute.
Yeah, let's start there. At the bottom right there, it says mute. Just tap that. You did?
Black Beetlejuice, that was kind of funny. I just read the just know I'm up one. So it's coming, Sweeney. I just gotta wait for it.
Okay,
And y'all can't hear me still?
We can hear you now.
Oh, I have my phone and my laptop on, and I'm trying to figure this out. Sorry.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
come back to me.
No, I think you're good now. Hold on. You sound like you're in the matrix. Just log out on one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, the one you're not using, log out the other. Oh wow. Okay, well maybe you want to do this one then. We'll come back to her. Go ahead, Miss Taken.
Somebody was on the Pop the Balloon show.
It doesn't surprise me. Typically, anytime a conversation has to do with a woman and the man is doing a clap back, it always go to some kind of has to do with her sexual exploits or whatever. So that doesn't surprise me.
I never heard of Haktua. Do you know what that is, Mistaken? What is that exactly?
Yeah, it was a IG video, something like it was a white girl that was on like a, I don't know, spring break or something she was talking about. And a guy had questioned her. I can't remember what the question was. And then she said something about you got a tour on that thing or whatever. So now she got like some kind of, I think they're going to give her a show or something like that just off of that one comment. Yeah.
Okay, it makes sense now. Go ahead, Brown Sugar.
So I pretty much agree with Miss Taken. It's not surprising, especially since she got a little hint of color in her too. So they gonna go for the gusto. It's never straight facts. It's never nothing to do with actual politics. It's just her sexuality, and I mean, what does this have to do with anything? Honestly, but I just don't know, like what, like Jazz said, like what's the context behind that? Like what makes her the original?
I can explain it for you. So
okay, yeah,
it was a guy named Willie Brown. I forget what his position was. Was he a mayor or the congressman? Do any of y'all know? Sweeney Trail. So he had a political position. It's throwing me off right now. But he had a political position, and he appointed her to. Damn, somebody got an echo. He appointed her to 2 jobs. One paid like $89,000, and another one they paid like $93,000. And it was rumored that she was his side chick, but he had been separated or divorced from his wife for like 8 years prior to them dating. And then they like had a long list of all her sexual exploits. So they pretty much was pussy policing on her.
Yeah. So he was the mayor of San Francisco, and she was dating and prancing around with him. He was still married, separated, yes, but still married during that time. So a lot of people will, especially conservative people, would frown upon it anyway because she still was legally married to bro. And not just that, but they feel like her political presence is due to her being a pass around. And a lot of people know she dealt with Montel Williams. And if you look at that little video, he had a whole nother chick with him at the time too. So it was weird. I don't know. So they just think that there's a bunch of people who she slept her way to the top. And Judge Joe Brown actually co-signed that too. He said that she was definitely a pass around and one of them things. So that's just what they feel. And he's familiar with her father personally. So that's why people took what he said as gospel.
Okay. Thank y'all for that context. I still don't see how it relates to like the political aspect. I mean, we got Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. I mean, he got
That's
pranked.
that's the real Hawk Tuah girl. Monica Lewinsky.
Wasn't he also criticized for his sexuality? He was heavily criticized as well.
Impeached.
Well, he technically got impeached. So I mean, when it comes to being in those positions and fraternizing, it is heavily looked down upon across the board. So
I think the only difference though is that the women who slept with Donald Trump came forward and talked about their exploits, and then it became the issue. Versus she back in the cut, married, got her own thing going on, and that's the first thing that comes up. So that it was brought to an issue. So I think that's the difference.
Oh, she married? Who's she married to?
I don't know. Some Jewish guy.
All right.
I guess Montel didn't want to marry her. Typical.
Nope.
She married a white man. Typical.
Exactly.
Brown Sugar, I got a question for you. Would you say that Kamala, is she a black woman to you?
I mean, she got a hint of black in her, don't she? I mean, that's just like the Amber Rose situation. I mean, however you identify, that's your business.
I ain't gonna say that she's not black, but she definitely not like us.
We can say that.
Okay.
Cue Kendrick.
All right, go ahead, Miss Ruth. We're talking about Mr. Lace calls Kamala Harris the original Hawk Tuah girl.
The Hawk Tuah girl is a white girl. Let her stay the original Hawk Tuah girl. Don't be putting on us. And yeah, that's why you feel like it's okay to disrespect black-looking women. I'm gonna call Kamala a black-looking woman because she definitely don't identify. She has literally said she wasn't black. I don't know. I'm not really following politics that closely.
Can somebody please show me, and I'm being genuine, if you can find the link when she says she wasn't black, please send it to me, because I keep hearing this and I don't know if it's just something that keeps being said. And I'm actually very confused about why is it that she's not black, but anytime anybody else has we go by the 1 drop of black blood rule and we call them black. Like, I heard somebody say, oh, we go by what the mother is. But I'm like, well, if that's the case, then y'all would have said Obama was white.
Obama was raised white.
Right. But Obama, nobody was calling him white. Everybody was saying he's the first black president.
No, the group that's criticizing her was also criticizing Obama. Like if you look at, go on Twitter. If you look at it, they.
I'm telling you, I have not. I specifically heard they will say, "Oh, he's biracial. He's not black. He's biracial."
Okay, hold on.
I've never heard anybody say he's white.
Are you on Twitter?
In this situation, that everybody just keeps saying that she's not black, which my understanding, just the rule has typically been if you have one drop of black blood, you're white. So we're going back to
who
the
made
day,
that rule?
But more white people. But hold on, she has a black father, so
she has
that's
a Jamaican father.
He's Jamaican. He's black.
He's Indian Jamaican.
He's black.
He's the Indian man in Jamaica. Don't make him a black man. He's an Indian man of Jamaican. So if a dark-skinned Indian man is born inside of Jamaica, then he's Indo-Jamaican. That'll make him Indo-Afro-Jamaican.
So let me ask you something. When we're talking about Black Latinos, we call them Afro-Latinos, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we consider them black.
No.
Yes. Stop trying to change it up. Yes, we do. We do.
Y'all do. The people that are criticizing them don't.
Yes, that's y'all are trying to move the goalposts. And I don't understand why. It's not that I'm sitting here saying that. Oh,
I can explain it to you, but
it just doesn't make any sense. You say she's the Indian because her mom is Indian,
and she identified as the first Indian. If you look at it was a transition. She first was the first Indian XYZ, whatever position she got. Then she decided to be the first black XYZ. You can't switch races like that.
But that's what I'm saying.
Kamala is Asian and black, not Indian.
I'm just trying to figure out.
Indian. She's Brahmin Indian.
Where she said she was black. I mean, where she wasn't black, or she went to a HBCU. Like I'm just not understanding.
Rory and Ma went to a HBCU and pledged Kappa. That's a whole white man, an Irish man.
No, my whole point is that what you're saying is I can't relate, because things that, like where she grew up, she went to a HBCU, she has a Jamaican dad, like all of those things are black.
He has an Indian Jamaican dad. He's just in Jamaica. That doesn't make him black. He's just Indian Jamaican. He was born in Jamaica as an Indian man. Her mother is Indian, Brahmin Indian, which in that particular situation, she's been raised by her mother her entire life. Her father actually never been around. So she was raised Brahmin Indian, which is an elite class in India, which basically looks down on everybody else and within their country. So essentially, they're like the white people of India. And so she was raised that way. And basically what they're saying is the people who are criticizing Kamala Harris online also criticized Obama when they say he's not like us. He was raised white because he was raised by his white half of his family. His father wasn't really there and if you look at his politics and you look at the way that he moves, it doesn't align with how, and basically most of the people who are criticizing Kamala Harris aren't saying, okay, her skin color isn't black. They're saying she's not African-American. That's what they're saying. As a matter of fact, there's been several articles wrote about it where they said, y'all keep trying to make it about her skin color. Just because your skin color is black doesn't mean you're us.
Well, what makes you African-American, being black and being born in America?
No.
I'm asking for clarification.
Being a descendant of U.S. chattel slavery. Adolf, she's not Adolf. She's not African American. She comes from an immigrant family. She's not us. She can be. Nobody's telling her you can't be black, but you're not us.
Okay, so she's not African. So she's not African American.
I'm saying that she's not Jamaican black either. That's my stance. Like, I don't think she's Jamaican black either.
So she doesn't have any descendants of Africa. Her descendants are from India. Is that what it is?
You look at her birth certificate, it say Caucasian and then Jamaican, but the Jamaican is from the Indian whatchamacallit.
Yeah, well, so what I say about the Caribbean culture, right? Like if you're talking about Trinidad, Jamaica, Guyana, whatever, you can literally be Chinese, you can literally be Indian, you can literally be black. And it's completely different, right? And there are, like, for instance, in Guyana, there's 6 different races. We don't all just come black. There are people who are straight up Indian, right? The culture is very similar. Like we eat, the Indians will cook Chinese food, and the black will cook Indian food, and all that. So that goes down. But as far as the racism, when people are teaming up and stuff like that, they kind of stick to that in a lot of cultures, not as much as other places, but yes. And they will absolutely be different races. So, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm kind of posing the question as to is she actually just Indian? Is her father just Indian, or do they have any descent? Are they descendants of Africans at all?
No.
I'm looking it up right now.
No, they're not.
To me, all this
Okay.
does not really matter. She could have been a black woman, but if she's over here prosecuting black people, or she is not identifying as black, why are we trying to make her black if she don't want to be black? If somebody's mixed and they say I identify with white, then let them be white. Let them be whatever they call themselves.
She started identifying as black in this election, is what we see.
Hold on, real quick. Let me answer.
Hold on,
Trev.
y'all. She need to finish. She need to
I haven't
finish.
been able to-
Ruth need to finish, y'all.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say what her background, because I just looked up the dad. Her father's parents were African Jamaicans.
All right, go ahead, Ruth.
African Jamaican slave owners.
Y'all, hold on, y'all. Ruth need to finish. Go
I
ahead,
just
Ruth.
looked it up, Marcus.
It's black people.
I'll pull it up.
It's black people that are not for black people. She's just not for black people. It doesn't matter what we can talk about this all night long. She's not for black people. So when they're disrespecting you like a black woman, then you're gonna have to take. That's the other end of the stick. You got to take it now, because you don't want to identify with us, but when you get that same treatment, like that could have been any black woman that they were talking about like that, they're quick to go there, because it's like, hey, it's okay to disrespect black women. That's what the undertone that I'm getting from this conversation is. Like, I can call her the original Hawk Tour girl. No, you keep that. Y'all made that up. That was a white girl that did that. She's the original. So to call her original is very condescending and stupid. But say what she did, but don't try to mix all that up and try to make it like put that on us. That's all.
I bet you she don't even know how to stroll. I bet you she don't know how to stroll.
So this her birth certificate. You see the Caucasian right there?
Angle it a little more, Marcus.
Listen, though, Marcus, I get what you're trying to say and do, but you know the historical nature behind how they determine who's black, who's white.
Kamala Harris was not born that late, that early, to where that's a thing. She was born in like what is her date of birth? Was she born in like the 60s? She don't need to put Caucasian on her application.
No, that still goes on to this day in terms of different cultural groups identifying as white because of the historical aspects.
So basically, she's not like us, because black folks don't get to do that. We don't get to go and mark white on our application just because. only people who run over here do that.
Marcus, I looked it up. I'm just saying.
She was born in 1960.
I just looked it up too. What you mean? They recently adjusted the Wikipedia page because it didn't actually say Afro. Because they got pictures of it before they adjusted the Wikipedia page. And then besides that, what black woman gonna actually say that America ain't racist and that I would never do nothing specifically for black people, and then turn around and do something specifically for a lot of other groups of people? Like, come on,
but
bro.
then she get in front of us and make and dance and all of that. Can't dance. All these videos now, all of a sudden she's shucking and jiving in front of everybody. Man, get the whole hell up out of here. That's not like us. That's what they do. Oh, got to get the black vote. Got to go out there because she don't identify as us. That's why her politics don't represent it. The way she moves don't represent it. How she views life don't represent it. She's always been raised Brahmin Indian in an Indian household. Wasn't she disavowed by her father or something like that as well?
They don't go into it that much, but she wasn't raised with him, according to
Like, man, we're not.
Me,
Come on,
like
man.
I said, I could care either way about her as a person because I'm not. That's not my thing. My thing is this pushback about how she's just not. She's
So,
not black. But hold on. But we're quick to claim everybody else's, but like with Tiger Woods, and he straight up said that he wasn't. He gave himself a whole name,
And he got his ass handed to him.
trying to claim him like, no, he's black. I don't care what he say, he's black. But that's the part that I'm not getting. It's nothing else about her. All of the other stuff that y'all are saying is a whole separate issue. My whole thing is that it just floored me or just surprised me with how many black people are just on a bandwagon of like, she's not black.
Well,
so mistake. Hold on, mistake.
That's all.
Mistaken. I wouldn't be. Fuck. Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. I wouldn't be saying nothing if she wasn't adamant about making sure she didn't do nothing specifically for black people, laughing and giggling about if she, like, say I met her outside the barbecue, she told me she's black. I'm like, all right, you black, it's whatever. But if you're gonna say you're black and you represent black people and then go up there and speak for other groups of people, hey, I need that tag back home, girl. Like, for real. You're not gonna put the name black out there like, yeah, she represent what we thinking and want and need, and then represent other groups under the guise of, yeah, you elected the first. Black people have political capital due to racial guilt in America. You're not gonna use the racial guilt of my people to not do shit for my people. Fuck you. Get on with that shit. And
that's exactly how everybody feels.
Because she's a woman. If Michelle Obama was running and she disavowed Obama's policies in regards to black people, I vote for Michelle Obama. It's not because she's a black woman. So they can get that completely out of there. She is not operating in the sense of how a black woman who actually understands what black people have been, this whole thing of America, the history of America. She's operating as something else. And don't say you black to operate under that guise. I'm not jacking that shit.
But
basically, it's a problem.
It's a lot of people that are black and still do the same thing, though. They don't.
I don't fuck with them neither.
They be in politics. They can be black and still not care about black people. I just wanted to put that out there.
I hold tight.
Also,
hold tight, y'all. Shout out to AP. He sent me that video, I think, where she's basically saying what she is. Let me see if I can pull this up.
No sound.
All right, no sound. All right, 1 second. Let me see if I can fix that. Maybe y'all can hear it from my end. Let me see if I can fix that. Y'all go ahead.
Yeah. So real quick. Oh shit. My bad. I think it's distasteful for them to make those types of attacks on her, right? Not because she's supposedly black, just because it's just distasteful. Like I don't think that there's so many other things that we could criticize her on, like her policy or the fact that she continuously gives us word salads, or the fact that she repeats the same phrases, maybe 3 phrases over and over and over, or her policies stink and she's just pretty much running a whole bunch of policies that I don't think she has a lot of knowledge about, just by her talking points. There's so many other things we could criticize, and we really shouldn't take it there. I understand that it's politics, and I understand they did the same thing to Trump when he was talking about grabbing by the pee. They were on his heels about it. So I mean, it is what it is with politics. So I understand that part of it. I still don't condone it, though. I think that people should leave the person. I know it matters to a lot of people, but to me, it doesn't. I want to know what it is that you're going to do. What kind of position am I going to be in as a result of you being the president, right? Because I would love for somebody on the panel to tell me a politician that they actually like and trust. No, there isn't many. There isn't many. It's like the lesser of the evils, no matter how you spin it. So just find some more tasteful things to talk about. It's pretty easy to kind of dice Kamala up. She made it extremely easy for people to do that. I don't think you have to like go that low and speak of things, just sexual history. I mean, I said it, I guess Tuesday, most of your favorite politicians have a checkered past and a very, I guess, interesting. We'll just say they have a very interesting sexual taste, right? A lot of these guys, I know about them, and I know some of the things that they did, and you probably would be surprised if you knew what your favorite politician was doing. So we could go there all we want, and we understand like politics. You know how politics work. There's always palms getting greased. There's always dirty work. It's always nasty work. That's just what politics are. So if you think that a person got to that position where they can be president without greasing some palms, without doing some dirty things, then you don't understand politics. No, that's not what we would like, but that's what it is. So the only thing that we can actually choose is who is the better person for the job, who is going to make me and my family and the people that I care about be in a better position.
So
I think I got the video if y'all want me to play it.
I stand before you as the first candidate for Vice President of the United States of South Asian descent. When my mother, Shamala, stepped off the plane in California at 19 years old, she didn't have much in the way of belongings, but she carried with her lessons from back home. Growing up, my mother would take my sister, Maya, and me back to what was then called Madras, because she wanted us to understand where she had come from and where we had ancestry. And of course, she always wanted to instill in us.
And you want to know what's crazy? This is the problem with people like Kamala Harris. When it's you only want to be black when it benefits you. So when it's time for you to get the black vote, you'll come out there and be black. But when you start getting all the accolades, then you come out and say, "Oh, I'm an Indian. I'm of Indian descent." And that's the problem that we have, because a lot of people keep saying black folks are worried about the wrong shit. No, if you're gonna run a campaign on your blackness, and you're gonna sit here and tell us, "Hey, I'm black. I'm just like y'all. We gonna get down this together." And then when you get in office, we start telling you, "Okay, what you gonna do for us? You think I'm gonna do something for just black people? You think I'm gonna do something for black people? Wait, but you just ran a whole entire campaign using your blackness out there marching with the AKAs, going on all these black platforms and trying to talk to us and sitting here going to all these different cookouts and shit, trying to play black, even though that's not the way you were raised. You was never raised around us. You don't know shit about cookouts. You don't know, like, what you did was you went to a HBCU and thought you could buy your black ticket card. That's what you did. It was a means to an end. We don't trust you.
That shit disrespectful. It's a whole spit in our face to say, like, yeah, these niggas don't know who they are, so we just gonna jump in and say I'm black, and they're gonna go with it and vote blindly for me because I'm a black woman, no matter if I tell them I won't do shit for them. That shit disrespectful as hell. Like, I don't get how y'all rocking with that shit. And I'm not no Trump supporter, so that whole because you support Trump, fuck Trump, fuck her, fuck both of them. One of them put forth a tangible list of items. The Ku Klux Klan spokesman to come up with a list of items that I agree with, I'll vote for him. That's my whole thing. It ain't about what is good for me, and that ain't good for me. And stop cosplaying. Be who you are. I like tandoori chicken. I like naan. I like all of that shit. I don't got no problem with Indians, but don't pretend to be black. Just stop it.
All right, I think Brown Sugar was trying to say something, y'all. Go ahead, Brown Sugar.
No, I was just gonna say, now I'm not into politics, so hope the people in the comments don't come for me. But from that little clip, I'm not sure what that was, but it sounded like she was speaking about her mom. So if her mom is Indian, like, why can't she speak proudly about her mother? I mean, if that's her background, it's just because she's speaking on her mom, that doesn't mean she putting down anybody else. Now, again, I don't follow the whole thing, so blow the steam out now. So I don't know what any other comments were made, but that clip, it just sounded like she was just speaking about her mom. That's on that.
I think this is where it gets foggy, because I think Marcus just like parsed that out perfectly, where we said if you're conveniently being black, and then when you talk about all the success in your life, the only side you ever talk about is your mother's side. And the reality is, because you don't have your father's side, because you never identified as that. You lived as a Brahmin Indian woman, but then you want to be black when it's convenient, when you need the black vote. That's a problem. And we will have that problem with anyone. She is no different than Rachel Dolezal at this point in my eyes.
All right, I'm gonna ask the man.
Rachel Dolezal did shit specifically for black people. Go fucking figure.
Yeah.
Go figure.
And this isn't saying that I'm voting for anybody. That was just my opinion on the video.
Okay. And let me just ask the men on the panel: were you guys offended by the way he talked to her? You guys think that was disrespectful?
Yeah, that was disrespectful.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely think he was doing too much.
Okay. And what trips me out is that we just sat here and was dancing and hooping and hollering when Kendrick Lamar was criticizing Drake. When he said Drake is not like us, and how Drake used to go to Atlanta and basically colonize, and he was calling Drake a colonizer. We was all hooting and hollering, but when it comes to Kamala Harris, now all of a sudden, oh no, all black, like she is black, she is like us, she is this. No, she get the same smoke that Drake got.
I understand that either, because when Drake first came out, we were claiming him too. So that's the thing. Like I just don't. I guess for me is the inconsistency. So it's like if it's somebody you like, you want to claim them, but then if it's somebody you don't like, then they're not like us. That for me was just the entire point. Whether you like her as an individual or not, that wasn't my argument at all. Is just the inconsistency. First, it was like, well, whatever the father is, that's the lineage you go by. That's the namesake. That's the legacy. Now we're saying, oh, well, her father was black. She ain't us. Look, she talking about her Indian mom. So it's for me, it's just the inconsistency. That's all I'm talking about. Now, do I think Drake is black? Black as a black parent? Do I think Kamala is black? Yes, they're a part of the whole black diaspora. If you have a black parent, you're part of the black diaspora. Now, whether
Where's
or
the
not,
black parent? Who is the black parent?
The father. I keep saying that. You keep saying he's Indian black, but I just looked it up and it said that he was his parents were African Jamaican. So
I honestly think that they changed that to. I think they tweaked the article to make it seem like he's Afro-Jamaican. I really never heard of Afro-Jamaican until today. So, like, you just Jamaican, you are automatically supposed to be African, right?
That too. But I just looked it up because there are just like you have Chinese Jamaicans or whatever. So I understand that concept that, so that's why I was like, all right, well, let me go see. And that's what it said, that the grandfather. I'll pull it up.
Maybe if you look at a picture of the dad.
If you just send a picture, then I'll put it up. But just to kind of further this conversation as we somewhat bring it to a close, like, what does it say about us? Like, does it really even matter?
Well, that's how I feel. Like, I feel like that we are very hard on each other. And I feel like I've been following Kamala for years, since she's been in California in office. She's never claimed to be black, but she's never tried to act black either. So I don't know where that came from, that she's trying to act black. What she did was, she went to a black school. Yeah, she had black friends. Yeah, she pledged a black sorority. So now what? What, she ain't supposed to act black? She's supposed to understand none of our culture that she experienced? So what's the big deal? But I feel like we are so hard on each other, on ourselves, because at the end of the day, Kamala has way more political experience than Donald Trump, if we just want to be technical. So if we want to be technical, who's the best fit? Donald Trump has no political background besides when he was in office and still didn't do anything. Kamala has a lot of experience and she's moved a lot of policies. So if you want to look at who's the better fit, forget all that, oh, she acting black and she's dancing here. She's been doing that since she was in college. We just seeing it now. She's not fronting. She claimed her heritage. She claimed her white husband. She does not care. And she's above representing black. She's representing everybody. She knows where she's from. And Kamala has always been about what she wants to do in herself. And it has never been about race.
And
so
that's why she's going to take an L. That's why she's going to lose.
The only reason we're addressing this is because she is saying she's a black woman and marketing herself.
Technically, she is though. Like, and why are you mad that she's saying that? Is it because you don't like her?
No, I don't have a problem with a woman that she's just not. And then one thing you just said that you literally just said that she has more. Like, and again, I preface this with I'm not a Donald Trump supporter. She has no political experience. She has more.
She has way more political experience than Donald Trump. Way more. Donald Trump doesn't even have any political experience.
Who has more experience in being the president?
Kamala, honey. She's been running the office as vice president.
No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't.
She's at the end of the day, she's vice president.
We didn't see
at the end of the day, she's vice president.
President is what you're telling me.
At the end of the day, she's currently the vice president. You're not going downgrade her experience.
What does that have to do with her running the government as the president?
That's just like saying, why would Donald Trump be in office when he got to be president? He never had any political experience then.
That's a good point. I would agree with you.
Okay, make it make sense then.
But you can't say
he literally was the president and she literally was not. And you said
he's not more qualified than Kamala, and I guarantee you on that one. You might need to do some fact checking first, but he definitely is not more qualified than Kamala.
Oh, that's when I see you right now in your head.
I'm confused.
We don't trust her. We ain't voting for her.
But that's what I'm saying. If you don't trust her, we're not voting for her. Every vote.
I don't trust cosplaying black folks.
But every vote not for her is a vote for Trump.
Hold on, y'all. Jasmine talking.
I don't.
Every vote for her.
I'm not voting for neither one of them.
Every vote does not. That's still gonna be a vote.
Mic check. Hold on. Jasmine talking, y'all. Jasmine talking.
I said every vote that's not for her or for no vote at all is just going to be a vote for Trump. So then once he get in office and Project 2025 and all that stuff come into play and women can't get abortions and they start and white people start feeling like they can call us niggas on the street like more freely and openly, then all that stuff is going to be. I don't want to hear no complaints from nobody saying like, oh, Kamala wasn't.
And the ones that don't vote are the ones that's going to complain the most. And those are the ones that complain the most. The ones that don't vote.
I'm be like, well.
I'm voting and I'm still not voting for her.
You know what got people using the word nigga or sporadically? It's people who aren't black saying that they're black so they can use the word nigga, and now everybody saying, including white people. That's who got it doing. It ain't Trump saying you are. Like that's
no, it's white people that are overtly racist. Like they wanted the word civil war. Like they wanted to start a whole civil war just because he got a piece of his ear shot off. Like nobody was those podcasts. Like
it didn't touch his ear.
Tweet. Like they was dead ass. They was serious.
If Donald Trump was killed that day, be honest, they would be upset. Just like we was upset when Martin Luther King got assassinated. Mm-hmm. We got upset when Rodney King was beaten. So to sit here and say that was no big deal, that somebody tried to kill him is crazy. And I'm not even I'm not a supporter of Donald Trump, but if somebody took a shot at Obama, now granted, we don't really
think that was an assassination attempt.
But a black person didn't even shoot him.
So I can't go off. I can't go off of conspiracy theories. I can only go off of what we saw. We don't know.
Yeah, and he actually didn't get shot at all. He really didn't get shot.
How do you know that?
That's what the darn. First of all, they said that it was the glass that hit his ear. Okay, that's what it. The people that was there, the reporters and the doctor who hasn't been in practice for 7 years, who is his doctor, who said he didn't even confirm that it was a gunshot. He said it very much could have been. But at the end of the day, they have said that it was the glass that got to his ear. And that's what it looks like.
Even if it was that, he was shot at. If Obama was shot at, we would have a problem. It ain't even about
Obama not gonna take the time to make himself look like that he survived 10 shots, you know what I'm saying, and throwing his fist up. I really feel like because it was planned.
What does that have to do?
That wasn't a real attempt.
What does that have to do with the fact that if we saw somebody like Obama get shot at and somebody tried to kill them, we would raise hell in this country? No doubt about it. So how is it that we would look over on the other side and they raise hell, or say they would have raised hell?
This is the same person that attacked the Capitol and people died and got injured from it. So yeah, make that make sense.
That have to do?
It does have a lot to do with it.
We would raise hell. We found out a white person tried to shoot at Obama, but it was a white person that shot at Trump.
We would raise hell if a black person did it too.
Black people.
And the thing is that we're sitting over here pretending like it's somebody took a shot at him. And you saying, oh my God, I can't believe y'all so upset about that. If somebody took a shot at Obama, especially, we would have a problem with that.
I didn't say I wanted him to get shot. I never said I wanted him to be shot or get killed. I don't want anybody to get shot.
Like how we're making light of people's reaction to it, as if it's no big deal that somebody tried to take a shot at a former president and a presidential candidate.
It is a big deal. The real big deal is the fact that we are sitting here so confused and not knowing who to vote for about someone that's going to make the biggest decisions of everything. And that's the part that's confusing. It's like we're caring about a piece of an ear, and we're caring about whether this woman is black or Indian, and we're just going to be sitting here.
The thing is again, y'all, hold on, wait. Again, the problem is that y'all keep missing the reason why black people are questioning her. It's about her politics is the reason why people are saying she's not black and we can't trust her, because her politics don't align with her saying I'm black and I need your vote because I'm black, but my politics is going to be Asian, my politics are going to be white, my politics is going to be Jamaican, if so to speak, if she was, or immigrant policies or things like that. And we're saying, hey, we're the ones that got you in office. We're the one, you're coming in and asking us to get you in office, but you're telling us, hey, put me in office because I'm a black woman. And then we say, okay, black woman, what you gonna do for us as black people? Oh, I ain't doing shit for y'all, but I do shit for everybody else. That's the problem. That's why we question her blackness, because if you only use your blackness to get elected, but once you're in office, you switch up on us, we have a problem with that.
That's all fair.
And to be, Jasmine, let me just add this one point. And
that's
to be
all
fair,
but who do we vote for?
About Obama. We not following that shit again, is what we saying. Like Obama got that shit off. Obama got that shit off where we voted on him being black and he ain't have to do shit for us. We matured from that point. I'll take that L. I did this shit too. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to see a black man was not operating.
No, I'm not saying vote for somebody just because they're black. That's weird. Don't even vote for somebody just because they're white. I'm saying, who do you vote for then? If it's just about race, or if it's just about racism or whatever, like who do you vote for? Like
you vote based on policy, and that's what they're saying. We're not just
policy that you can actually stick with.
I don't rock for neither one of their policies.
Then what we gonna do?
I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote in local elections. I'm voting down ballot. I don't trust neither one of those presidents. I'm sorry. It is what it is. And the thing is that what I plan on doing, along with ADOS and ADOS organizations, is we tend to go to politicians and say, hey, this is what we want. Give us what we want, or you don't get our vote. And the thing is, and here's the reason why I believe this will work against the Democratic Party, because they actually need our vote. So people like Kamala Harris, who needs our vote to get in, you come to us correct and you give us what we want. Don't come to me and tell me what you gonna do or what you ain't gonna do. Come to me, ask me what I want in exchange for my vote. Don't come to me and say, oh, just vote for me because I'm black. You come to me, ask me what I want for my vote, and then we in exchange. It's an exchange. Politics is an exchange. You're not owed my vote. And so because you still need it, give me what I asked for.
And if she does it, we will vote for her. We will vote for her if she does it. That's the part maybe y'all missing. We not saying, oh, she's not black, we'll never vote for her. We're saying if you give us what we want, yes, we will vote for you. But the time of us saying you're black, so we voting for you because you're black, that shit is done. We not doing that shit no more. That shit dead. I apologize to my kids and my ancestors for not being politically astute enough to make this shit a case for Obama in the beginning, but we done doing this shit. This whole go along to get along. Hell no, that shit done. We have a historical lineage of all of the fucked up things done specifically to us. You can't specifically do something to right that, then I'm specifically not voting for your ass. Get the fuck on.
And you're gonna lose. How bad do you want to win? That's my question to them. How bad do you want to win? Because running on your blackness ain't gonna get you there no more. Black folks are tired of that. So how bad do you want to win?
All right, Jay,
Kamala got the female vote on lock, and that's every
nationality. Them white women gonna vote. Them white women gonna vote right along with their husbands like they always do. She ain't got.
The white ones. The white ones definitely vote with the white men, but Kamala has a very huge following with the women, and it's in every.
Chanel, what's she gonna do for us?
So she's not really dependent on the black vote. I'm telling you this. She's not really dependent on the black vote. She has a larger. It's above us. Okay, it's above us.
It don't matter. So if she lose, remember it's above us. That shit ain't got nothing to do with us, right?
It very much could be, but trust me, she's not losing sleep off of the black vote and off of us complaining about this. She has a very large following in the female community. I'm in 2 groups right now. Just in the last 17 hours, they just raised $250,000. Women
that's all
only.
Well and good.
Women only.
Let me ask you a question. If I go to your restaurant, right, and I pay you $100 and then ask you for food, and you say, "Oh, I'm not giving you no food," and then I come back the next day and give you another $100, and you ask for your food, and I say, "Oh, I'm not giving you no food." What does that make me from constantly giving you money to not do shit for me?
To each his own. Everybody not gonna get what they want. Everybody not gonna get what they want. It's the majority. That's how it goes.
Let me get Jay in there. Go ahead, Jay. We got on the brother.
I mean, I think everybody's gonna use their manipulating their race to get what they want. I mean, we watched that. Like, I'm in South Carolina. The former governor of South Carolina was Nikki Haley. Nikki, her real name is Nimrata. She's Indian, but Nikki sounds like the all-American white girl. So she changed her name to Nikki Haley. Same thing, whether she's black or not. Well, first, I think what the dude said, that was disrespectful. But she's going to have to expect that, because it's going to get real ugly. If y'all think that Haktua joke was terrible, stay tuned. It's going to get a lot uglier, because they're going to start pulling up the actual item she Haktua'd on. You see what they did to Donald Trump. You look at both sides. You see what they did to Donald Trump. They went back into his past. They pulled up pageant girls. They pulled up porn stars. So my thing is, to who much, you wear the crown, a lot comes with that. Or you want the crown, a lot comes with that. So please believe we're going to see a lot more about Kamala coming out, because it's going to get dirty. It's a dirty game. As far as who, I'm not going to speak on as far as who votes for who. Kamala's going to have to deal with a lot moving forward, a lot more disrespect to that extent. That's just what Donald Trump has to do. That's what people in politics. Look at what Biden dealt with. They forced him to step down, his own people. As far as the woman vote, I feel like black women, she is going to get that vote. But like Sweeney said, the women voting with their husbands, there's a reason why she's out there. You're going to notice she's going to be on a campaign trail. She's going to be touching a lot of black areas. Whether she's black, whether she claims black, she's going to be black for this particular job. She's gonna be black. So y'all get ready to see her and party hop with her and electric slide, because she's coming to a city near you and she's gonna be fucking breakdancing. So whether you want to accept that or not, you know what I'm saying? Like, just know, get what you need to get out of it. After she finished spinning on the fucking floor, ask her, what the fuck are you doing for me? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing for me? After we finish boogieing, how are you going to change our lives? What are you going to be different from everybody else? And make sure you ask those questions. Just don't get played.
He said she's going to come back a cookout, huh?
While they're wearing Donald Trump sneakers.
JR, can you please play this video that I just sent you?
They They ain't got a music.
I put it in Instagram.
All right. You just want me just to play the audio, right?
You could play both, or it don't matter.
No, this is on X. Let me see.
Well, again, we had over 200 years. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination and segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, Black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the LIFT Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of Black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects Black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No, because whatever benefits that Black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country. Right?
And that's how we got affirmative action, and it went straight to white women. Shit like that. This is what happens.
And that's the thing. Don't do what they said, rising tide lifts all boats, or that. Like, we can't fall for that.
Exactly.
We can't fall for that. We need something specifically for us.
Well, I from my understanding, she co-authored the George Floyd bill, but Congress won't pass it. So in that regard, what do? You
Keep
know what I'm
fighting.
saying?
Even if you lose, keep fighting.
But what I'm trying to say is not necessarily just her fight. She can fight it as much as she wants, but if Congress does not pass it, that's going to be up to us to try to vote for those Congress members that are going to pass something like that. But we're not doing that. We'll get upset and hype over the presidential elections, but we're not going to get hype and vote on those elections that are actually going to put people in positions to vote for laws like that. So
we literally do all the time.
My point is, you're saying she's not doing. That was just one thing that I just learned myself. Not that, because I don't follow politics like that. I typically hear what you guys are saying, and I'll be like, oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, I didn't know about that. And then I'll look up the information that you guys are saying, and then it'll get me going down a rabbit hole. And then I come across other information that doesn't complete the whole context of what y'all are saying. Is snippets. So then as I'm getting bits and pieces, I'm putting stuff together like, oh, they're putting this forward, but they're not saying this. So that link that I sent y'all in the back actually speaks to some of what I had been learning when I was going down the rabbit hole. And that was one of the things that I wasn't aware of, that she co-authored the George Floyd bill, but it wasn't passed.
And co-author.
What an honor. We must stand with Israel.
Do you support reparations for Black people?
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. Which is why I support the United States commitment to provide Israel with $38 billion in military assistance over the next decade. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No, I support full funding for Israel, including for the Arrow, David Sling, and the Iron Dome missile defense systems, which save lives. And that's why I am fully committing to maintaining Israel's qualitative military edge. I stand here clear-eyed about the dangers of division in our country and in our world, understanding why a state for the Jewish people is so essential. Do you support reparations for Black people?
All right, y'all. We gotta transition. Trey, did you speak on it? I want to make sure I got to everybody.
Yeah, I said a little something. It's cool.
Okay. All right. We get to these super chats real quick, and then we'll go ahead and keep it going. BZ, formerly, maybe Zaddy $2 says Kamala was born in Oakland, if that ain't Black.
So was Jose Canseco. What does that mean?
The Rambler Review Channel $5 says everybody who was born in the 60s and 70s, most birth certificate says Caucasian or Negro. Mass also says Negro. I was born in 71. Frenchie K757, member for 17 months, salute to you. Yeah, I don't trust Kamala. Call me what you want, but I don't rock with her on policies. Scorch, member for 21 months, thank you, says Joe Judge Brown says she's of Black descent, and he knows more about her than everyone on the panel. And Umar says she's Black as well, and he's not like us either. AP Accountability Partner $5 says first introduce race first. That makes it fair game. Sweeney, don't even argue with this one. She doesn't even know facts, emotions, and conjecture. AP again, $20. Thank you, sir. Chanel, you're wrong. Poland suggests you're wrong. She trails in suburban white women, Latino women, and small hat women. You're all wrong. Also, she can't win without the Black vote. She can't win GA, NV, nor MI without us.
That's why she's running around to all these damn cookouts trying to get the Black vote. Because she know without a shadow of a doubt that without us, she doesn't win. She ain't said shit to Black folks in damn near 3 years. All of a sudden, she on the campaign trail dancing in
she
front
was
of
just
Black
on
folks
BET.
again.
She was on BET talking about how she was in these streets. I'm like, where?
Get the fuck out of here.
Where?
Now, I did hear somewhere that she is polling well with the Gen Zers. So I don't, like I said, I don't follow it like that. But as I see things on IG or stuff come to my, from YouTube, I'll watch it. So they did say that that's another group that people are not like focused on, but she's doing well with that particular group. I didn't go fact check it, but that's just something that came across my thing. But I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if she's gonna win. I have no idea. If she does, she does. If she doesn't, she doesn't. But
she has a beautiful Black family.
Those are stepkids, man.
Those are stepkids, Marcus. Stop.
We ain't got no goddamn Black kids.
Can we call a spade a spade?
From the hip, yeah.
Now, I know
Black kids.
Listen, I know y'all are gonna be mad about this, but this is a mistaken observation or feeling or whatever you want to call it. I do think the whole like she ain't Black thing is an issue. I still don't understand that perspective, but in my opinion, I really think the bigger issue, and I know for you, Marcus, it definitely is the fact that she's married to a white man.
That ain't got shit to do with it.
It does.
It doesn't. You can't assume. You cannot assume it. We have to say that.
Let's not say you. Maybe it doesn't for you, but the comments that I have been reading, it absolutely plays a factor in that when it comes to Black men. And I'm saying Black men specifically because those are the comments that I have read that from. Marcus, am I lying as it relates to you?
It all
I specifically believe that men are the head of the household, and whatever that man in that household is that's what the household is. So that's a Jewish family. They're ethnically, religiously, culturally a Jewish family, and it would make sense for a wife who claims to be in a wifely role to listen specifically to her husband, the small hat man, and what he says goes. And I don't have any problem with what they're doing within their family. I don't think that represents me as a community or anybody I know. And again, if she decides to go off the path and provides policies specifically for the people she says specifically she won't help, then I will vote for her. But at this point, I'm not playing them games. I'm not playing them games with her. Like Sweeney said, she need to put some. You're not about to sell me wolf tickets my whole life, and then I just keep buying them. Like at some point, you're gonna have to produce something. You're gonna have to like. Unfortunately, it's on her, but if she provides something tangible, then she got my vote. If not, she don't got to vote.
And the thing is, she made blackness her calling card to black people. We didn't come in saying, "Oh man," she made that her calling card. Hey, I'm a black woman. I'm a woman of color. You need to vote for me. Black woman this. I'm gonna go over to the cookout and do all this. So once you make blackness your calling card, and you say y'all should vote for me because I'm black and I'm a part of the code, and I danced with the AKAs, and I went to Howard, and I showed up to BET, and I did the cookout. Okay. So you just want us to vote for you because you're black, not because you actually gonna do anything for us, but because you're black. And that's how politicians, even black politicians, have done it for so long that now we're starting to say, first and foremost, not only are we even questioning black politicians who do it, but then we question other politicians who cosplay as black people, especially who do it. Like, hold on, bro. Now, you ain't never been really black in your whole entire life. You ain't never been amongst us. You ain't never kicked it with us. You didn't go to high school with us. You didn't do any of this. And now you're going to sit here and say, oh, well, because I'm black, I'm a part of this. Y'all need to vote for me. No, don't run your campaign on your blackness. Run your campaign on what you going to do. And then let the chips fall where they fall. She started it first.
No, technically Donald Trump started it. Donald Trump been running the streets with black people, running the streets with New York rappers, and he's not black either. But it seems like no one has a problem with that either.
They literally criticize him for it.
He's not voting for Trump. What part?
And he's not black either, so make it make sense. You know, he's trying to pull the black card too.
Not hearing what we
move on.
No, hold on, JR. Are you intentionally not hearing what we're saying? We clearly said we're not voting for Trump. We don't support Trump.
It's called pandering. Both sides do it. So that's
and Trump was also criticized for it. The first thing they said was, I know Trump ain't out here talking about so he got shot at. That makes him identify with black. He was literally criticized for it.
All right, y'all. We got to move on. And we're going to talk about Ashley Allison says white women have benefited more from affirmative action.
Yeah.
So you just said, no, that's not what they want. I'm a part of that they.
No.
And what I'm saying, yes,
you said white women.
No, what I am saying right now is that I believe in equity. And when I say equity, I want everyone to have a fair, level playing field. I do not want
That's not the definition of equity. Take a look at Kamala Harris's 2020 campaign ad.
Let's let Ashley
Just because you talk so much doesn't make you right, okay? A conversation is that you listen, you actually hear what somebody says, and then we have a discourse. Just talking over someone doesn't make your point any stronger. Equity we can say, we know that there are people who are some disadvantaged, some white poor folks who are more disadvantaged than some people who are black middle class. We know that. But what equity is that, and I will just say, white women are the ones who have benefited the most from affirmative action. So maybe you're sitting at this chair because somebody thought you deserved to have an equal playing field.
I don't agree with that.
You don't have to, but the facts are the facts. Like, you don't have to agree with it, but numbers are numbers and facts are facts. And we do know white women benefited more from affirmative action than even Anna, myself, or Abby, or you at this point. Equity is that we want an even playing field. We want everyone to have a fair shot.
That's an incorrect definition.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Take a look at Kamala.
Big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests, everyone should get the same amount. The problem with that, not everybody's starting out from the same place. So if we're all getting the same amount, but you started out back there and I started out over here, we could get the same amount, but you're still gonna be that far back behind me. It's about giving people the resources and the support they need so that everyone can be on equal footing and then compete on equal footing. Equitable treatment
means we all end up at the same place.
And then say I'm not specifically doing nothing for black people. Come on now. Y'all got it. Come on. Like, what the?
All right, let's go ahead and get into it, man. So that second part, that was the Kamala ad that she was referring to. I found it and decided to play it just to give more context to it. I'm gonna go ahead and go to you, Brown Sugar. I think it's a true statement. You agree? Ashley Allison says white women have benefited more from affirmative action.
I do agree that white women benefit more from affirmative action. I think it's been designed like that since day one, and there's really nothing new.
Okay. Go ahead, Trev.
Yeah, no, I was just looking at that that comment over there that you highlighted. How are how are white women a minority?
Yeah, definitely. Are you asking?
What's that, Marcus?
Are you asking? Is it true?
Yeah. How was that possible?
The female presents a minority status, so you can be a double minority if you're a black female or a minority female. But female is counted as a minority status. So
yeah,
it was the last couple words in the way they worded in affirmative action allowed for that loophole to be put in there.
Yeah, that's pretty wicked. So I understand how what she's saying now makes sense, but it's completely contrary to her statements before. If she said she's specifically not going to do anything for black people, and her opponent actually had a plan with numbers, 500 billion, whatever. Like I'm like, damn. So he had numbers. He had plans for black businesses and black communities specifically. He spoke about it. I passed the video around to a couple people. It's like, damn, why are you letting him do that and you're not willing to? A lot of politicians get very wary about saying that they're going to do something specific for black people. I don't know if they feel like they're going to lose something because of it, or it's going to hurt their campaign, but they don't have any problems when it's for other races, right? Remember, there was a whole attack on Asians, right? And they immediately write a bill for it. You heard her other plans that she had, but we just don't want it. She had a million plans just now for Jewish people, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with any of that. But then when you say that we're not going to do anything specific for black people, I can't co-sign that. That's ridiculous, especially when the other side's saying they are and have a drawn out plan for it. It's wild to me. Like, I don't understand. See, and here's what happens with politicians. We understand this about politicians. We know that when they go in different rooms, they have different talking points. But your talking points, they can't make you a hypocrite. You can't say one thing here and then it's completely contrary to something that you're saying in another room. I understand that if you go into a certain type of group, right? You're going into Detroit, you're talking about the car industry and all that makes sense, right? You're talking about the industry jobs. That makes sense. You go to somewhere else where they care about, I guess, reproductive rights. Whatever the strong point is fine. I get that. But you can't lie. You can't say that you're going to do something in this crowd and then just say something that goes against what you said in another place. Like, we don't have video on you. It's not like back in the day where somebody could just report it or whatever. We have video of you saying this stuff. You can't lie and then expect people to believe you. What are we to believe? When you do things like that, people are going to believe what they want to believe, and it's usually not the right thing. When they see you saying two things, they usually believe whatever sounds worse. That's human nature. So when you say two things, they're going to agree with whatever you said that they didn't like. So when you do that, just understand you're hurting yourself in both rooms, because both of them are going to believe that you're a liar, and they're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt, like, oh, he's lying for me. Every time you hear a lie, you're thinking they're lying against me. So it's really stupid to do that. She's going to have to do better, man. I don't know what's going to happen with her. I doubt she could win. I really do. And I know that there's a lot of, I guess this is like the honeymoon period. Like everybody's got this bliss right now because it's a breath of fresh air. You have a new candidate who isn't, getting dragged around like Weekend at Bernie's. We get that. But at some point, you're going to have to debate. At some point, you're going to have to talk about real policies that people care about. And people are going to start wondering how this is going to affect my family. What is my family going to look like? What's my life going to look like once she's in office, if that were to happen? And a lot of people are scared of that. They're scared of that. And they're talking about a whole bunch of things, whereas they're really she's focusing so much right now on reproductive rights. And I get that. But how many people are going to push the button because of that? How many people are going to push the button because of that? I don't know. I don't think that's going to be something that's really going to help her either way. I could never see myself voting based on that. Only thing I'm voting for is what's going to make my family good. And that's not something I don't even want it. I'm not worried about that with my family. And most families aren't worried about that. There are some people who feel passionate about it, but most people are voting based on what their life is going to look like. How are they going to eat? How are they going to make money? We got 2/3 of Americans living check to check. That's what we're worried about. We want to know how we're going to get to the money. We're going to know how we're going to be able to build a legacy. We're going to know what our family looks like. And right now, what Democrats are doing, there is an attack on traditional families. From what I hear, they are not with traditional family values. They're working against that. So you can go ahead and try to appease these bases, but you have to really do a better job at what's going to work. We're going to find out in November what happens. And I think she's going to be in deep trouble. It's going to start to show more sooner than later. And this is just within the first week. People found a whole bunch of stuff. They didn't really start digging in the crates yet. Once they start digging in the crates and start getting receipts and some real footage, it's going to be problems. We've had enough to know the good, the bad, the ugly about Trump. Right. And I know somebody was saying earlier that, she had more political experience. I get that. But he actually had the job of president. And we saw what he did. And there was a lot of people who were pleased with it. And a lot of things that were good then are no longer good for people now. A lot of people understand that they're spending hundreds more a month in groceries. They know that their gas prices are higher now, right? These are the things that people are paying attention to, how bad they're hurting right now and how hard it is to make ends meet now versus they were years ago. And I understand that that's a trickle effect, whatever, to an extent. But there are certain things that could have been done, absolutely could have been done to mitigate that weren't done. And people say, look, I had a sample size of what this side looks like. I have a sample size of what this looks like. And I don't think we're going to go in the right direction voting for this administration.
Would you rather have the black president or the white president who got 1.7 billion off the price? I think they want the white guy right now.
Oh, so Trump considers her black, but we don't.
No, I'm mistaken. If you was dating, I asked all these ladies in this panel this. If y'all met two men, right, and one of them beat you up every day and one of them beat you up only on the weekend, which one of the men would you date?
Neither.
What?
If you met two men and one beat you up on the weekends and one beat you up every day, which one would you date?
I wasn't asking like I didn't hear what you said. I just don't understand why you asked that question.
Which one of those men would you date?
Neither. Like, what kind of question is that?
So now you understand me and Sweeney's point.
No. And back to Trev, smooth. I can't see, the screen is small. But to answer your question, you said that yeah, Kamala is pushing reproductive, and your question was who's going to push the button for that. There's a lot of women that's going to push the button for it. And there's a lot of women that's been fighting with it in Texas for the last couple of years. So those women are the ones that's going to push the button. And you said that why would you push the button for it? Well, there's no law that says you can't get a vasectomy and things like that. The reproduction situation is all with the women. So we're still going back to what I said before.
You talking about the right to delete?
So
baby?
it's different. It's different. So if a woman, that's a bad comparison, because if you were to say, if you would have to compare vasectomies to a woman getting her tubes clipped and burned, right? That would be the correct comparison. Not because men actually have the rights taken away from them as far as reproductive rights by default, because it's a woman's choice already, right? So, and that's fine, because I understand that once you release that seed, it ain't yours no more. I get it. But our reproductive rights as of then have already been stripped from us. So it's a wrap with that. You dig what I'm saying? So you can't compare the two. If a woman wants to get her tubes tied, she can. And I don't think that's ever going to go away. That's not deleting a baby. That's completely different. And as far as Texas is concerned, it's been left up to the states. If y'all think that he's going to try and push it further, that's a non-issue. It didn't really do anything. The certain states say yay, certain states say no. Not very much has changed with that. He's not trying to push that any further.
There's men out there that don't want to have kids. There's men out there that don't want to have kids. And there's men out there that is going to get women pregnant and they're going to end up having kids because she can't get rid of it. So yeah, it's the same. There's going to be men that's going to have a lot of kids out there that they couldn't get rid of because him and the girl didn't want to, but they can't do it because they got to have it because they don't have the choice to get rid of it if that's what they wanted to do.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's a bad thing because it should be a choice. And
This
is going to be
another
reason
that's
for
debatable as well.
support, all kinds of other stuff. It's another way to just drive child support and keep us in this barrel of us being in poverty and multiplying that we can't afford.
All it did was basically say that women can't opt out of father.
Anything to do with them. It's more so the kids that are going to be impacted. So I know we're talking about is women's choice is taken away, the men's choice is taken away, but at the end of the day, the choice is going to impact the kids. So when you force a woman to have a kid when she preferred not to, that is going to trickle down on because I see it in the school system. Me working in education, I'm around kids who parents don't want them.
But it's not something that just happens though, right? Why are we acting like you just end up pregnant? You don't just end up pregnant.
Even if you go back and look at history before abortions became legal, how is a
woman being forced to have a kid she did not want?
Women because they went other places to get the abortions illegally. All I'm saying is, one, I don't agree with abortion being used as a form of birth control, and I think most women feel like that.
No, they don't. They literally use it as a form of birth control.
They
literally use it as a form of birth control.
Most women do not agree.
Most women don't.
Listen, I'm saying
most women who use abortion don't use it as a form of birth control.
Sweeney, please listen to.
No.
Let me finish my thought. Most women do not agree with the use of abortion as a form of birth control. That means having multiple abortions after abortions after abortions because they keep making the same mistake over and over again without using protection. Most women do not agree with that. What I'm getting to the point is that when you force somebody to make a decision that they don't want, that goes against what they want to do, there is always going to be some repercussions that is going to be more negative than you just giving them the option to choose one way or the other. That's all I'm saying. And I think what happens a lot of times is we make these decisions, but we don't necessarily see what the impact is going to be until long-term impact occurs. And then we look back and be like, dang, on hindsight, maybe we should have did something else.
Have you ever
that's
looked
all
up
I'm saying is
have you
that
ever
that
looked
just
up
got out.
Have you ever looked up the reason why women get abortions?
There's a lot of reasons why women get abortions. There's not one reason. There's lots of reasons.
Fair.
I was going to say
have you looked up?
But I know personally women who have. I know their reasons.
But overall,
statistically, I don't know.
But overall, women go out and get abortions for literally the same reasons why men walk away from their children. It's literally the same reason. Almost in lockstep with one another. The numbers nearly match up almost within a few percentage points. They're literally using it as a form of birth control. What they may say out their mouth, oh, I don't want to use it as a form of birth control, but how you're using it is a form of birth control. It's the control or delete. If I don't feel like if I want to have sex raw and I don't want a baby, I'm just gonna go get an abortion. They use it as a form of birth control.
But there's always going to be anything that's always going to be someone, something, or somebody that's going to abuse the system. It's going to always be that. But there's women getting raped, getting pregnant, being molested by their parents, their dads. There's a lot of other reasons why women choose
what percentage
to not
of women?
have kids.
What percentage
So
of women
they
who get
can't do
abortions?
that.
What percentage of women who get abortions is because of grape?
It's because of who?
Grape.
Let's look it up.
Yeah, we can't say the R word, so he used grape.
Yeah, sexual assault.
Yeah. Or you can say SA.
Or SA.
Yeah. You know why you guys?
I never heard of that.
Yeah, it's just only. It's kind of
so you won't get flagged.
Yeah. All right, let's try to get some other people involved. Go ahead, Ruth. While they're looking up things.
We start talking about abortion, or are we talking about the white women from affirmative action?
You can speak up on affirmative action. They want to come back and double back with the other information, and they can. But just off the Ashley Allison says white women have benefited more from affirmative action.
Yeah, I believe so. Basically, whatever Black people do, other people come around and piggyback off of it. That's how a lot of things get done, off of our success. And then they take advantage of it. And then, we may not be knowing about certain programs or we might not have all the information or connections to take advantage of a lot of things, or maybe don't have the belief in ourselves to do certain things. But yeah, I believe so. I mean, I don't know the numbers, but how many people, those they had some like loans for small businesses or whatever, or minorities, and I think it was more white women that had it than Black people. So yeah, I agree. It's kind of like a yes or no thing. So
okay.
So here's the numbers. Reasons why women get abortions. 25% said not ready for another child. Timing is wrong. 23% said can't afford a baby right now. 19% said have completed my childbearing. Have other people depending on me. Children are grown. 8% said don't want to be a single mother. 7% said don't feel mature enough to raise another child. And this is them like ticking off the different reasons why they would choose not to. So it may dabble in multiple different categories. 4% would interfere with education or career plans. 4% physical problems with my health. 3% possible problems affecting the health of the fetus. 6% other. Less than 0.5% responded with was a victim of a sexual assault crime.
Basically, don't feel like it, so they're not gonna have it.
I just would like to thank my wife for giving birth to my amazing 3 children and not deciding that they didn't deserve to live. I appreciate you for that. You the real MVP.
Shout out to myself.
The same exact reason
And all the other
walk
men.
away from their children.
All right. Let's go ahead and try to get some of the other people involved. Go ahead, Jasmine. What are your thoughts about what's going on? Affirmative action.
You said affirmative action?
Yeah, on the topic.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got lost in the abortion conversation. But you might have to refresh my memory. I don't know. I might be just like overly emotional tonight or something. I don't know. Maybe it's that time of the month. I don't know. So just run it back for me. What?
It was the video. I played a video just to kind
No,
of.
you don't gotta play the video. I was just saying, like, what's the the question?
It was just,
White women have benefited more from affirmative. I got you. I don't even see how that's even possible. But I mean, I think I'm more on the spectrum of where I feel that women in general just have been disenfranchised for a really long time. So I mean, we could all benefit from some affirmative action in certain situations, especially in the corporate world. But yeah, I'll just keep it there for now until I recalibrate.
yeah. Go ahead, Jay. A story.
I mean, I never really took notice of it, like in the workplaces that I've been in. But my only knowledge is like watching Mad Men, and seeing a bunch of white women in the offices, as receptionists. Or I'm trying to think of another job where I've seen, and there's been like an abundance of soccer moms that've just been in the job. I've never really taken account of it, but I can understand that it is. I mean, just like welfare. Welfare is one of those things that are kind of, Black people are the poster, we're the posters for welfare, when in reality, white people eating that shit up, top of the month, yo, you in Walmart, them carts be stacked high, yo. You're like, damn, you taking all the motherfucking Frosted Flakes and, King Vitamin and shit. Yeah, they be stacking that shit up. I remember somebody was like, yo, you want to find out who's the people that have jobs, cart, probably like 6 items. The people who don't have jobs, cart be stacked to the brim, yo. They'd be falling out the cart. But that's how, and there'd be a lot of white women, you know what I'm saying? A lot of white women. Fast kids running around, putting the cart into your heel. But I can see where that is accurate. It's just not broadcasted, just like welfare.
All right. Go ahead, M. White.
Affirmative action is what I was talking about in the previous post or the previous segment, when I mentioned that white women were the number one beneficiary of affirmative action. If you don't set aside policy specifically for the people that you're trying to help, as Kamala explained in the beginning of that speech, then other people will utilize it, and it does not move the ticker or the bar. It'll turn into the $5 Indian thing. That's why it's important to delineate and make sure you're specifically helping the group you're trying to help. Outside of that, we're gonna be in the same boat forever. You can go historically through policies enacted for specific groups, and it's many, and it amounts to more than $1 trillion of assistance that's been provided by the federal government to either compensate people for wrongs that have been done, or to enact policies to try and build up communities. When you have a community you specifically did this much harm to that you refuse to do, only thing I can think is that you're just anti-Black, and I can accept that. That is what it is. But anybody that's anti that sentiment of saying, oh, these people just want to get a leg up or hand out for nothing, then they should also be against insurance policies, because technically if someone died that paid the insurance policy and you get the money, you did nothing for that. You should also be against inheritance, because that person in your family who worked hard and got that money and passed it down, you did nothing for that. They should be against anything that doesn't require them directly to do the labor to benefit from. Anything outside of that, the only thing I could think of is you don't view Black people as humans, so they don't need to be treated with the same respect that anyone else would be given. And that's something you got to work out with yourself.
Everybody know what the $5 Indian were?
The who?
$5 Indians that he mentioned. Can you explain that a little bit, Marcus?
So when they started to give land and trying to make recompense for the harm that they had done to the Native American populations, then white people then begin to identify, similar to right now, they identify as somebody, and we're talking about feather, not the dot, Kamala is Dot, not Feather. So they began to identify as Indians in order to receive those things. So all of that money that was set aside to specifically help the community that they specifically harmed, and it went right to white people.
There's a pattern, and they were giving away land. The more you learn about history, the more you see that this is nothing new under the sun. They've been doing it. They're going to keep doing it. But you got to know your history in order to see what's happening right before your eyes. Anytime somebody say, I do everything for everybody, that means they do not want to do something for Black people. If you really want to do something for Black people, you just got to stick with Black people. Stop inviting all people. That's how we get watered down and nothing gets done.
As a matter of fact, I'm glad that you mentioned that, Ruth, because Kamala Harris is about as Black as Elizabeth Warren is Native American.
Man, everybody speak on this. Everybody, I ain't missed nobody. Going once, going twice.
What was the initial question? Because I don't think I did. I was looking up the rape stuff, and from what I saw, well, this one is just basically from Maryland. I'm going like in the back, the coalition and all of that. So what Sweeney said is a little different than what I found. But what was the original question?
What was the number that you found?
The one, this one is by the Coalition Against Sexual Assault. But this is out of Maryland. I'm trying to find one that is more general.
What was the number?
Just state it was a 3-year survey of rape-related pregnancies, and found that 5% of rape victims of reproductive age, as a result of rape, with the majority of the pregnancies occurring in adolescence, of those victims, 50% terminated the pregnancy.
But that's not that. But the number that I provided was totally different from the data that you're providing. I looked at abortions as a whole, and you looked at victims as a whole, and then said 50% of the victims. But what I'm talking about is the total amount of abortions. Most abortions aren't because of rape. Now, does the majority of rape victims delete? You know what I mean? Abort? Yeah. Yes, but most abortions are not because of rape.
Agreed.
So that's the difference.
Yeah, agreed. But I was, like you said, I was looking at the specific group that we were talking about. So you're talking about, like you said, majority of abortions aren't occurring because of rape. I was looking at the ones who are actually raped, because when you make a law like that in a state, be careful with that R word, mistaken. Oh, I'm sorry, rape. When you make a law like that prevents a woman from getting that across the board, that's a target population that is going to be impacted by that as well. And based on looking at the stats of how often that occurs, that's a lot of people that would not have a child because they would take that option was taken away, and you're victimizing them twice. So they were raped, ended up pregnant, don't want the child, but then you're forcing them. So that's like taking a choice away from them all over again. So they're being
So who that's extreme. That's extreme for one. First off, who is saying that victims of rape won't be able to ABO? I'm trying to understand. Who said that? Oh. Have y'all listened to Donald Trump's stance on reproductive rights?
Up to the states. No, he can say whatever he wants because the law is leaving it up to the states.
But that's all we have. That's all we have to go by, though, right? You leave it what they say, because
right. So you have states that are doing complete abortion bans, despite how the woman got pregnant. So that's
the thing is, mistaken in that regard. You're right. Where I do believe that there should be exceptions, that those states that do just outright ban it, they can make exceptions. Like you could put parts of the law that says, in case of this, then you have this option. So I'm not into total disagreement with you.
What state actually did that though? What state said outright ban it? And including victims of rape? That's what we're saying. What state did that?
I think Alabama. I might be wrong.
Texas did that.
I think
Y'all in
Alabama.
Texas? Is that real?
I just saw something that somebody showed me today. Now I don't know if North Carolina, but the video that they showed me today, it was one of the I can't think of what position he was in, but he was talking about that as well, about out, like them not being able to have that regardless of being incest, whether it was incest or not. And I guess right now I am a little sensitive to that because I just found out recently about a student who, I'm sorry, that was a fruit fly. A student that something like this happened
I had that article
to.
one day.
So I guess
Yeah,
for
I think
me,
that's radical too.
it's being in the education system. I guess this is the part that the layperson won't see. So when you're making laws that's going to impact the whole, everybody is going to have different viewpoints and experiences. And being in the public school system, you get to see a lot. And so there has been stories where I've had students whose mother was dating a guy, the guy was full on, molesting them, and the mom got mad at the daughter and made the daughter go see the guy in jail. Like, you need to forgive him. A child recently was like, I'm tired of waking up with penis in my mouth every morning from her brother. So, and then having a husband that kind of works in that field as well, it's burdensome. So you guys as a group, you don't see these things. You're sheltered from that. So it is not going to hit you in the same way. It's going to have a different impact. But when you're living it day to day and dealing with kids that are going through this in real time, is a whole different experience, a whole different level of empathy that you end up having. And then when y'all make light of it by saying, oh, that's only 1%, that's because you can't put a face to it. But on my end, I can put a face to it. And when we see things like the professor saying, I'm talking about extreme situations, I'm not. That's the thing. Most people are.
I can say I certainly have many people, some are close friends of mine, who have been violated. So that's false. I know several people who have been assaulted. So I wouldn't just assume that about the panel, because we probably all know some people and probably are close to them and understand those experiences quite well. And I'm not insensitive to it. What the point that we were making was, women use that as a point of birth control. That's what it mostly is for. And it's 0.5% of people who are having the other issues that we discussed with grape or whatever else. That's 0.5% is what we're saying. That's why most women are saying they want it, because they want to be irresponsible and then use that as like plan C. That's the problem. They want to activate plan C, and that's the problem. If you can be proactive about it, you can be proactive about it. Most women are not voting because they know a victim of grape. They're doing that because they want to continue to be irresponsible and not be held accountable for it. You can be proactive. There's nearly 40 different types of contraceptives before you get to the point of plan C, right? So maybe you should start exercising plan A, plan B. There's different things that you can do, different precautions you could take if you don't want to be pregnant by somebody. If you don't want to have children, then there's certain things you have to do.
Yeah, we got to move on from this topic, y'all. I got it.
Can I give one more fact? I'll give one more fact just for the audience who watch.
There's one more fact. Let's move on so we can get to these other couple.
There is 10 states that do have a total ban on abortion. That includes they don't have a legal way for women who were victims of sexual assault to have an abortion as well. There's 10 states out of all 50 to 51.
Okay. Are you done, Sweeney?
Yeah, that's all I just wanted to make sure, because I'm sure one mistaken would like to have known that, but
all right, we got accountability partner. $5 says Chanel actually Trump was in music videos before he ran. The culture accepted him before he ever ran. What are
Not
you?
in New York.
No.
Not in New York.
No, boo-boo.
BB, formerly Baby's $82 says
Not in New York,
Trump next
so.
rally, he coming out to many men. Harrison Davis, $5 says salute. Thank you, sir. Scorch, $5 prediction. If she gets the gay guy as her running mate, game over. She will have the alphabet mafia backing her along with her Soros either way.
You talking about Buttigieg?
Billy Partner, $2 says facts over feelings, Chanel. Then AKB, AP, kind of Billy Partner, $20 says salute to the panel. Such a beautiful panel thing. Dang on, JR. Yes, sir. The ladies are gorgeous. I haven't agreed with Chanel all night, but ma'am, you are easy on the eyes. Salute to my boy Marcus, brothers, Trev, Sweeney, J, respect. I want to thank everybody. Let's go ahead and keep this moving. Hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We got Dream Dow says BBL movement is going out of style.
And I'm like want to transition back to my natural body. Like,
oh, what now?
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's going out of fashion?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So how will you go back then?
Well, I did a butt reduction.
Oh,
So
how do you do that?
Lipo, just lipo in your butt.
What, they just take it all out?
They just lipo it.
Oh.
But it's a process. It's leveled. I feel like natural bodies are more in slim, thick. I feel like that is like what's in right now.
But so naturally, are you you're slim, thick, right? But
Nasata, no ass at all.
That's me. That is me. I was gonna say that was me.
I wish I could have like my A cups back, like so bad, but it just.
But why though?
Cause I miss little boobs. It be hurting your back and stuff, but also it's just like nothing fits. Like all my stuff has to be custom, tailored.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Seems like BBLs have been a thing. I mean, even the men starting to do it right. But do the men prefer regular? What?
You said
What's
the
going
men
on?
getting BBLs?
They are.
BBL Drizzy. BBL Drizzy.
Yeah, I've talked to some ladies that been in some places, that been at bars or something like that, and saying the men getting BBLs.
DDLs?
Like I think that
They
realtor
are.
dude that they be posting all the time.
Butts or dinglings? What are you talking about? DDLs or butts? Men getting butts?
I was talking about the topic BBL at the bottom, Jay.
You said, so what's a man BBL? I mean, I've heard that before, but what? I see old boy got the muscles and stuff, but
They just throwing that word on everything right now. If you get some type of plastic surgery or modification to your body, they just jokingly say BBL, but it originally is just Brazilian butt lift. That's what that's the real term. But now, they start, especially once Drake started getting it, Rick Ross really ran with it. So now anything anybody does, what Bam Bam Kevo did, they call him BBL now and all that. Yeah. So, but dudes generally aren't getting traditional BBLs. I hope
if they could, if they had DDLs, I'm sure somebody niggas would be in line like a drive-through, bro.
They do.
That line will be wrapped around.
They've had that for at least 30 years, where people would had extensions and different things that they would do to modify.
That line will be wrapped around the block.
Drive through.
Now they have it. It's expensive, but they have it.
The window.
Just like y'all heard about the male birth control. If that shit passed, that you can just pop a pill like an hour before, man, niggas gonna be. I got them birth control pills.
Yeah, better not put them hormones in your body.
You be at the NBA game, yo, like
about to crash something tonight.
Yo, that would change the world, yo. That would change the world.
You said what?
I came across something that said something about men was saying that they didn't want to use them because of the way that it made them feel, and so they that was something that I had read a while ago about that. I'll see if I can find it and put it in the back chat.
No, yeah, that one. I think they were talking about how they didn't like that it was messing with their giblets. So they was like, nah, if it messed with the giblets, I ain't rocking with it. But the one that they came out with, they're working on, that said that it works on that they tried it on mice is basically you can pop a pill an hour before, and basically your sperm dies on arrival. Like it just dies on arrival, but it gets back to working.
That don't sound good.
No, but it's
that
it's,
don't
it,
sound
like
no. Wait, let me finish, Trev. Let me finish. But it only
Don't be
lasts.
shooting dead stuff in women.
But listen,
Like,
they want
no,
women
no.
to
It's not that
use
it's
it.
dead. It just can't
That's what it's
swim.
been
It
doing
loses
for us
its
for
ability to
years,
swim.
and it's okay.
No, it like basically when your sperm come out, it loses its ability to swim. But that only lasts for about a couple hours, and then afterwards, it's back to normal. You start producing normal sperm again.
Mm.
And they said that it works. They said it works like it works 100%. Like I think it's like a 99% success rate.
Listen, they make them really thin right now. Just go with that. Don't
Wait, what's
modify
funny
anything.
is we're
They make
seeing
them
stuff
really
that says,
thin.
"Oh, that sounds unhealthy," or I'll watch that. But women have been taking it for years. We've been saying stuff about the impact that it has on our bodies for years, but yet now that women are like, we don't want to take it. Now it's like, oh, it's your fault, yeah. But this is the effects that women have been going through. It sometimes it creates fertility issues. It creates all kinds of issues. But now that y'all have the opportunity to pick up that, y'all not trying to do that.
Man, I'm telling you, if that shit works,
What's wrong with the Jimmy hat? What's wrong with the Jimmy hat? What's so bad about that?
Gotta get back on topic, y'all. We're talking about the Dream Dow BBL movement. Go ahead, Brown Sugar, because Brown Sugar was the one that actually sent this to me. So I know you got a lot to say on this one, Brown Sugar. Go ahead and get the people what they've been waiting for.
First of all, that just irritates me. It really irritates my soul. I mean, first and foremost, whatever you want to do with your body, I guess that's your choice. But if you're doing it for a fashion trend, I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. That's silly. That's just real silly. You just changing your body and you going along with the trend. No. I mean, I get why people want to get their body done, I guess. But I mean, diet, exercise, patience, that'll get you where you want to be, you know? I do think BBLs were glamorized at one point, and so I also get why some women, went that angle too. At one point, this was like the desired everywhere body, Coke bottle shape, Nicki Minaj, everybody trying to get, something like that. But I still say appreciate what you got and just build on that. Be patient because it's not going to come overnight. But taking a lazy way out, I mean, from what I've heard, BBLs come with all type of health issues. And so that's probably another reason why she want to get stuff removed now. She may not be speaking on it, but I mean, you want to do all of this stuff for a trend, for an image, for attention, for a look, for whatever it is. And I mean, don't take the lazy way out. You want to do something and make it permanent. That's just how I feel. Just do it for you. And that's my take on that.
All right, go ahead, Ruth.
Everything that you see everybody doing in a couple years, when first is in and then it's out. Before the women are getting tatted everywhere, I already knew that was going to translate well in the long term. Then it was the BBLs. Of course, they're going out of style. It didn't work, and then now you're putting your health in on the line. Then you got to go to the gym now. All you had to do is go to the gym before. But you wait to get a BBL. The doctor tell you could die if you don't go to the gym. That's what got to put you in the gym. You can't just make yourself go. You can't just look at everybody until you feel like working out. Like, we got to stop taking like you said, the lazy way out of stuff. It sounds cute. Like, oh my gosh, I want to go. Like, I mean, even when it comes to finances, Black people taking all these vacations. I know it's off topic, but it's like we just keep doing everything each other's doing. We recycled. We're not original anymore. and we got to start thinking for ourselves. Stop trying to keep up with the Joneses, because it's making you broke. It's killing you. Now you're going to die. We already dying early because we're working as women. Like the people that worked all their life, and they're not making it past 70 anymore. As women, the men are living longer than us, and it kind of reversed on us. So why add more problems to your life when you don't have to? And then those same women that saved all their little ducats to get the BBLs can't afford to take them out. The same thing with the veneers. 1 minute everybody's getting veneers left and right. They going all across the world to get them, and then now all of a sudden your teeth falling out. Like they shaved down. Like, did you see how the little razor teeth the little devil teeth that you got? Like you let
Shark
them mess your
teeth.
teeth up.
She said
Yeah, those
devil.
little shark teeth, and put it online. The same thing with all your business online. Like, it don't stop. We do a lot of dumb stuff. It's just like, just think about it. If your kid was doing this, would you say yes or no? Just be your own parent for once. I'm sorry. I'm calming down. That's all. Please stop. Thank you. Be yourself.
There you going,
It's
man.
okay.
Yeah, I want to bring this into the discussion too, because apparently, I think my black women are getting lip fillers too. I'm seeing women that have good looking lips already, but they want to go bigger for some reason, and so they are. Yeah, I see somebody posted a picture of them getting a little bit of lip filler a couple years ago, and was asking should they go back and do it again. And I'm just looking like, and then I'm also seeing that like black women are getting Botox. That's something else that's going on, where they're putting Botox in certain areas of their face.
I think Serena Williams got something done. I think she got lip fillers and something. I'm like, yo, Serena, she was beautiful, man. She looked like white chicks now, yo. She looked like Sean and Marlon Wayans now. And I'm like, damn, what's going on, yo? Like, what are you doing? You're beautiful, yo. You look like. So hopefully, man.
When I was a kid, people would say big lips and big forehead and big nose, and all of a sudden now everybody wants everything big. Like, appreciate yourself, and even if you don't look like the best, you didn't come out with the genetics lottery. Like, love what you love about yourself, because even if you're a smugly person, there's another smugly match waiting for you. So just be yourself, because your kids is gonna come out looking smugly if you get these procedures anyway. Did you think about that? Okay.
Just imagine all the people getting the work done. They get so much work done that when they have a kid, it looks like it's not even their kid, yo. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Like, that's how much work people get done.
Yeah.
I mean, to speak on the topic, I'm just like, I guess she's probably feeling like this has really done nothing for me. You know what I mean? Imagine spending thousands of dollars for something and all people do is destroy it and defile it. You know, you go and spend $60K to get all this work done, and all people do is slap it, leave fluid on it, slap it. You know what I mean? Like, straight up defile it. Yeah. That's like you buying a new car and people just beat it with a bat. You know what I mean? Like, and then it gets you nowhere. It probably helped her as far as, visually, people, it was something good to look at if that's what you like. Because I mean, but with everything, people gonna take it to extremes. You know what I mean? I remember I went to Myrtle Beach, yo. There was this chick out there that looked like a lobster, yo, fresh out the ocean. I wish I could find the video. I was sending to JR. Yo, this chick looked like a lobster, like just butt busting out of the little bikini, yo. I'm like, man, what is getting? That's when I saw it. I'm like, yo, it's going too far now, yo. It's starting to look like a birth defect, you know what I mean? Like a deformity. That's how extreme they're going with it. But after a while, I can assume that with women, it becomes a health hazard after a while. Just like big chest. Naturally, big chested women, eventually they look into getting breast reductions because it is painful. You hunched over. I'm sure it's uncomfortable. So I could only imagine a butt walking around with that. I'm sure that gravitational pull is not fun. I'm sure it's not fun shopping. Sure, it's not fun cleaning. you lose half your arm in your butt, just trying to wipe. Like, I'm sure it's not fun. So God bless.
Man, so like I was sitting there thinking about it. I had this little theory, right? Because I be seeing some women that butts just look, you absolutely know it's fake. I don't think they go in saying that they want it to look like that. Like I think that they go in thinking it's gonna look like something, and then it wind up looking like that. And they just stuck with it because I mean, some of the stuff is just it doesn't look natural. It looks like what you're talking about, Jay. Look like something wrong with it. And it's just like, man, you have to walk around your entire rest of your life unless you go pay somebody to undo what they did. It looks terrible, man. You just stuck with it. What are your thoughts about it, Jasmine?
I'm sorry, Jay made my stomach hurt. But I definitely think it's going out of the bigger ones are going out of style. Like I know a couple of girls that had some surgery done like personally, and you would never tell, like, because they just wanted like minor enhancements, like where it's like she's always I don't call any of them friends. I'll say one of my friends, she had like a flat butt. She just wanted like just a little bit of cheek, and she was going to the gym, but then I guess the gym would make her butt like hard but not like bigger. So she just had like really hard butt. So I guess she just got like a little bit of enhancement, and they were just like, you can't even tell. And then another girl, she was like flat chest, and she got like maybe an A.5 or like a B cup, like something just super regular, and you would never know. So it's just like she just wanted something you put a hand on. So that I'm all for whatever's gonna make you feel good about yourself, because everybody wasn't blessed, genetically to just have it made out. And then a lot of people can't gym and they're just too impatient to gym. I just don't like the whole drasticness of the, like, why would you get something that's like 10 times its normal size and then don't get the thighs to match it, or get the boobs that are humongous and don't get the back and the arms to match it? So you got to make it make sense. Like, and they don't have enough money for the whole body. They only have enough money for some of the attachments, but not the whole process. So I'm gonna need you to get the whole thing done so it can make sense, and then you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, I'll be happy when people stop doing it for other people and just do it for themselves. Like, if you're gonna do it for yourselves. Like, I don't plan on getting any type of surgeries, but if I did, it would damn sure be for myself. Like, if I had kids and they took all my boobs and they just got completely flat or something like that, I ain't saying I wouldn't get a lift or something, because I know if I walk past the mirror every day and I'm just like, oh man, like my boobs are saggy, I'm sad for myself, not for my husband, because he probably won't care, but I'm gonna care because I'm looking at it. So I'm gonna do it for me.
I was actually just thinking that earlier this week.
Get a little lift?
I understand. I'm like, well, I was like, I understand why women like want to get their breasts done after having a child.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely understand. Again, I'm just not the person that's gonna go under the knife. I don't care for nothing. So that's just me. But I definitely understand why I literally ain't nobody got time for that.
That should be something you used to looking at every day. You like, right. I don't know other people, but I'll look at myself every day in the mirror. I'll be like, okay, girl, see, and then I can see when stuff get out of place too. I'll be like, okay, I need to slow down on these chips. Let me slow down on this cake, because I eat a lot. So I'm just like, so it's like you'll feel away if you notice, like, dang, my kids done stuck me dry, like, and I ain't got no boobies left. So you might want a little lift, and nobody should make you feel bad about that.
Okay. Is there any reason why we're acting like we don't know why people are doing this? Right? It's not that people are just completely insecure, or they just doing it just for no reason, or completely for vanity. Sure, that's part of it, but really the reason why people are doing it is because that's what society is rewarding you for. People that are famous, they set the trends, they do it. You watching Nicki Minaj do it, you watching Cardi B do it, you watching these women who represent the culture, and even models, right? You go on Instagram, and we're acting like people don't like this. I know we say it's disgusting, and it can be done absolutely wrong. And even in some extreme cases where you're like, no way, them legs, the proportions are just crazy. You look like something nasty. Like, it's not cool at all. Skinny legs, and then you just got a huge bottom, and you're like, come on, bro, the contour is awful, right? So it doesn't matter. Even those women, you go and hit that Explorer page, it'll pop up, because that's what Instagram does to you, especially men. Touch it. And then you know what's going to happen? You're going to see all the likes, all the eggplant emojis, all the love you, oh, so sexy, all that nonsense. You're going to see all of it. You're going to see all of it. That's just what men are rewarding still, right? Not great men understand it. And I don't think anybody in this panel is doing that. But guess what? There's hella men doing it. Hella men doing it right now, and women supporting it. That's why, because of the attention you garner when you decide to put these fake body parts on. People stare, people look, people can't get their eyes off of you. And attention is the currency now. We know that. And people don't stop looking at you. People don't stop paying attention to you. People don't stop gawking at you. People don't stop trying to talk to you. People don't stop trying to conquer you. Women are motivated to do these things. And they are rewarded for it, especially in the age where you can monetize sex. It is what it is. It immediately makes you think of sex. And guess what? When women show us sex, we pay attention. That's the fact. It's always P is still the best thing going. It's the oldest profession. And that is immediate advertisement. When you show your body parts like that, you are saying, look at me for sex. That's what you're doing, right? And we will look at you for sex. You are now an object because you have objectified yourself. So we're going to look at you as such. And you can't get mad when we gawk at you or we stare at you like, damn, it is what it is. You did that. You put those body parts that don't match your body to make it look super exaggerated. So guess what? You're going to get some exaggerated looks. Everybody's going to stare at you. Everybody's going to try to talk to you because they're thinking you're a whore. Unfortunately, when you decide that you want to promote sex, you want to bring attention, then you want to wear the most scanty thing ever. Somebody said the thong swallowed up. Yeah, sure. Guess what? We're going to look at you like that. We're thinking of sex. So it's not like I look at you, see you in a thong with your ass hanging out, and then I'm going to come up to you and talk to you about politics. Stop it. I want to smash. That's what's happening. And that's all I'm thinking about. I can't think of anything but sex when I look at you because you've objectified yourself. You can't get mad at nobody. That's the reward. You're going to get the attention, but guess what? That's the type of attention that you're going to get. Maybe she felt this corny now only because she realized the burden of it. She realized that people don't take her seriously. She realized that, okay, this is weighing down on my back. Now, when I try to sit in an airplane, I got to go to first class even if I don't want to, because I can't freaking fit in this seat, right? It weighs on you. You're carrying extra weight around. Every step you take, it's going to wear down your knees. It's going to wear down your ankles. It's going to wear down your Achilles. All these things, you got to understand this is extra pressure on your body, and it's stupid. Like, people didn't really do any real consultations. They just go in there and they do it. Every woman on Love and Hip Hop, as soon as they get there, boom, let's get it. Top and bottom, done. That was just like the standard procedure. But guess what? When you got that, your Instagram went like whoop, whoop, whoop. So they're in a tough predicament because if you don't, as long as we support it, they're screwed. And it's not going to play out until we stop supporting it, until we stop paying attention to it. And as of now, they're not. We're still paying attention to it. So just expect it to continue to be a trend until we get tired of it.
And just real quick, just another perspective, because that is big business. You know what I mean? Like BBL, that's big business. So another thing is you have to vet the people that are doing these jobs, because literally you have brain surgeons, knee surgeons, foot surgeons. All of them see where the money is, and all of a sudden, I'm a knee surgeon my whole life, and I'm gonna go get this girl a fat ass and some big titties. You know, this is my first. They're doing that because they realize that's where the money is. You know what I mean? So like I seen this joint where this dude did like the whole butt stomach thing, yo, and he forgot to put this girl belly button back on. Yo, she left up out the damn office with.
Yo, did you see the joint where they was going in that homegirl basement and she was putting Fix-A-Flat in their bottoms?
And Queens.
And it was poisoning them.
It is, yes. She was putting Fix-A-Flat in their ass. They was what? Cardi B was.
It did Fix-A-Flat though.
Cardi B was one of them. She was guilty. I mean, well, she later told that she hit that spot up too, yo. Like, could you imagine? You get home, you unwrap yourself, yo, and you ain't got no belly button. Or no nipples. Like, damn, what you do?
I'm just trying to think of the thought process of someone who decided to innovate the Fix-A-Flat. Or were they just like literally fixing their flat one day and look like, oh, shit, Fix-A-Flat. Like, what was the thought process with that, man?
There's always a test
You
dummy.
say, like, this whole soda come out my nose. I can't stand you. Get off of here.
All right. Anybody else want to speak on this one, man?
I just have a quick question. So are men opposed to plastic surgery altogether, or just the ones that make you look crazy? So if they got plastic surgery but it looked natural, like how the girl said she was an A cup, but let's say she went to a size that was more in proportion with her natural body, would men have a problem with that? Because I'm not sure if they're just completely against plastic surgery or they're against the plastic surgery that looks so unnatural.
Portions of everything. I've seen some women who I would give an absolute pass because I've had some really struggle breasts before, right? And you know, once you down in the A's and minuses, you probably need to go ahead and do something about it. And that's fine. I'm not against it, right? If you're comfortable with those A's, the flags, whatever, or you know, one pointing in a different direction, it is what it is. I've seen those. And if that's what you're comfortable with and you expect your men to be comfortable with it, fine. If you go ahead and get something that's proportioned properly, right? Once you start passing like double D, and it's like, all right, what we doing? Like, what we doing? That's where I would say the threshold. That if it doesn't fit your body and you can't be like a size 1 and then talking about them get some D's, that's weird too. So it's just about proportions. You want smooth slopes. You just don't want no crazy drastic cuts or nothing like that. You don't want any fall off any cliffs, right? The curvature is supposed to be legit. Coke bottle, that's what we're looking for. You know what I mean? That's fine. It's just a matter of it not looking ridiculous to where people have to turn their head.
All right. First, I just want to say that I understand and appreciate. Well, I empathize and appreciate with women's need to try and make their body the best they possibly can in this society. I understand it's hard not having an ideal shape, and when you want attention from men, it gets even harder when you see other women getting that attention. As somebody that does like big asses and big titties, I get why that would garner your attention to try and get what you want. And I've seen it help people through careers, music videos, all type of things that bottle service require you to kind of have that starter pack, that BBL starter pack. And yeah, I just say that you are appreciated in your natural set, and that for every man that don't like you how you are naturally, there's another man who does like you how you are naturally. Me and Shannon be talking about it all the time. Like, he likes extremely thin women. Like, I like thick women, like with ass, right? So there's a man for each different type of person. So you don't have to change. You just got to find a person that's attracted to what you are. Do I think it's going out of style? I think that maybe over exaggerated, maybe dwindling down, but the next famous person that's body gets complimented that looks whatever way that looks, that's what they're gonna emulate. So I think that the style is just propaganda, and I think men will forever like big butts and big ass, and they will forever like thin women as well. You just gotta find a man that like what you got going on. Yeah.
Anybody else want to speak on this?
I think all women should be required to get some type of therapy first too before they're allowed to get the BBL. Because it's like you can fix the outside, but then if you're not fixed internally, you're still gonna have a problem. That's why the surgeries get more drastic and more drastic, because you'll never be satisfied.
I don't think I don't think plastic surgery is ever gonna go out of style. It's been around forever. Our generation and older, you know, they started nip and tuck. Plastic surgery was always there after you lived life, your 30s, your 40s. Then you nip tuck this here and there. That's what it was in the beginning. And then it turned into like, I forgot his name, what he was mentioning, it's advertising. Then it turned into plastic surgeons getting their own practice and making it affordable and finding ways to do it. So now the younger crowd, now the celebrities are doing it for stage presence, for looks, but now it's feeding into the generation. So it's never going to go out of style. Unfortunately, the women that are getting it done in their 20s and teens and 20s, they're too young. Their bodies are still developing. So they're getting these things as young. Their bodies are still changing. And now it's out of place, which is why the younger generation looks more of a hot mess than the older ones that are doing it. because their bodies are still developing. They haven't had kids yet. Now, boobs, that's always been the thing. That used to be the thing in the white generation. 16, they getting their boobs. That's always been that. But the BBLs and all that stuff, the generation is getting out of control, but they're not realizing your body is still developing. You got to get past 26, 27, and your body's still doing all kind of changes. Now you can put stuff here, put stuff there, and now you're looking goofy. So it's
And body
never
change
gonna go away.
add childbirth to that too. Add childbirth to that too, because I like post childbirth bodies because they usually spread the hips out and the ass get fatter. So
Not for all women.
Marcus with the ass hand movement. But okay.
But I think that's the
hands huge mistaken. Like if you like, I can bomb a basketball with 2 fingers, so a little it's gonna.
What'd you say, Jay?
No, I was saying the only problem I would have with I think Mistaken asked the question with, you know, my woman, somebody I'm with, getting that surgery is that it will become addicting. Like they want to get one thing fixed and they want to get something else fixed, and the nose ain't come out how they quite wanted it. You know what I mean? It would be an addiction, like tattoos. You know what I'm saying? You'll see somebody start off with a little tattoo, little cherries on their back or something simple, and then all of a sudden they got their whole throat down to their damn toenails tattooed. You know, it's addicting. So that's the one thing I would worry about.
Yeah, I hear you on that one. I think it's kind of crazy though. I remember the first time I heard that the child looked completely different from the person. That's got to be some deep stuff, man. You gotta change your whole entire look, face presentation, and even when people that do date people specifically because they want their kids to look a certain way or at least come out looking like something, and they come out looking like that, it's like, what the hell happened? Like, what do you do? But I do agree with Chanel. Like I think women have been getting their breasts done for a long time. For a long time, just like I think like women been wearing makeup for a long time. Like them damn white girls, they started at an early age, and that's who a lot of women been trying to like mimic. You know, they've been trying to look like the American beauty standard, which has changed. But back in the day, that's what a lot of people were going for. But they've been playing around with makeup and they've been playing around with them breasts. We go ahead and move on though.
I think it was a thing that showed that this, I think it was Chinese, this I'll just say Asian because I'm not really sure if it's Chinese or not, ended up suing his wife or whatever because she had plastic surgery and their kid came out ugly. Right?
Yeah.
It was something like that.
Yeah, that was a story. Yep.
All right, let me go ahead and get to this main topic, which is victimhood doesn't work for men the way it works for women. Let me go ahead and play this clip and we'll go ahead and get into it.
It's so difficult for people to publicly advocate for the problems of men and boys.
Because victimhood doesn't work for men the way it works for women. We don't feel sorry for men. And rightly so, by the way. Biologically, men are disposable in a way that women aren't, for the obvious reasons. If you have a tribe of 10 men, 10 women, you send the women off to war, you're screwed. You send the men off to war, one comes back, you can still replenish the population. So men are disposable, always will be, much more than women. And so we don't feel sorry for men in the same way. And I'm not advocating that we feel sorry for men because I don't believe that's the solution to men's problems. The solution to men's problems is for men to be better.
What's that mean?
You know what I mean. Look at you. This is what your entire life is spent on, bettering yourself. Physically, emotionally, psychologically, mentally. You're obsessed with performance. You're obsessed with being better. You're obsessed with being happier, more fulfilled, all of these things. It's a pursuit of your own greatness. One of the reasons that men's mental health is not as good as it could be is that, A, we do live in a society which discourages them from being men and being the way that men are supposed to be. But the other reason is that most of the personal development and psychology fields are geared towards female ways of being. And most of the ways that we treat, for example, depression, Men don't need the same thing as women do when it comes to that. What men need is to feel powerful and capable.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Victimhood doesn't work for men the way it works for women. Go ahead, Sweeney.
Oh, so you come back to me, bro.
All right. Go ahead, Miss Taken.
I actually agree with that sentiment. I think men get the short end of the stick. Not saying that I think victimhood. I don't think victimhood works for anybody across the board, especially if you want to progress, move forward, be successful. But I do think women absolutely get a pass for playing the victim role. Again, I think is reinforced by society with the whole idea of being weaker vessel and that kind of like mindset. And so I think at times women play it up to their benefit. But I definitely think that for men, not necessarily saying I want them to be a victim, but I don't think that they are allowed the grace or the space to be a victim, even if they are. Society tells them, you a man, suck it up. You know what I'm saying? Move forward, like brush emotions, feelings under the rug, those kind of things. And I don't think that that makes for a healthy man. And kind of like what he was saying about depression does present different in men. And I don't think that that's taken into consideration a lot, like what we because perceive as anger sometimes is depression. And so I definitely think that men get the short end of the stick when it comes to us being, as a society, empathetic to the things that they struggle with and go through.
All right. Go ahead, Ruth. I got you.
Thank you. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, I think that men get the I agree with mistaken.
That was a long blink, Ruth.
Yeah, just blinking. Men can't play the victim. However, sometimes we do as Black people. We play the victim cards. Our men do a little bit more. On that note, we understand the history, but we also have to move forward. So that's probably the only time I ever hear something like that. I had to train myself to care about men's feelings around me because it wasn't coming that natural to me. Like I had to learn how to put myself in their shoes and, what is he happy or does he need something or how was your day or, just learning. First, you have to learn how to reciprocate and think about somebody else and, sometimes put the focus on the man. So to us, we heard them say to you guys, suck it up, get it together, be tough and all of that stuff. But then as a woman, when you grow up and you have a job and all of that, and you start feeling those feelings, you kind of feel like what it's like to be a man. So you should come back and say, you know what? He did have a long day. Like something happened the other day where I walked in the house and I had already cleaned and my daughter cooked dinner and I was like, is this what the men feel? Like, oh my God, this is lovely. I love this feeling. It was so great. I was like, oh, this is what y'all be talking about. Because, as women, nobody be cooking for us sometimes, So to have the house clean and the food like being prepared as you speak and it was just tasting great, no matter if it was something simple. If we just consider our counterparts, men will appreciate when we empathize with them, or sometimes we say they don't have no empathy for us, but sometimes we don't have any for them. So we have to just kind of look at their lives, and when they say their lives are harder, if they're risking their life, just let them win that. Like, just let them win it, ladies. Like, if they say their life is hard because they gotta work since birth, then let them win that argument. It's okay. Let them have it hard. We know it's kind of hard. We'll talk amongst ourselves and just let them have some victories. And it's really not that hard. When you watch some of these TV shows, You know, the girl has a nice little tone. I was watching Suits. She'll have a nice little tone, but I was like, yo, she is very annoying. Like, she wasn't listening to what he said. He said, leave me alone. You just cheated on me. She wanted to be in his face, but you can't do it. And she flipped it on him. It's like, we do these things. And it's like, we're not really considering, like, when we victimize the man and we don't give him no space, we don't let him rebound, we don't let him do anything. And we did this to you, but I still want to play the victim. And it happens sometimes. If you really reflect, it's not about painting all women with a like, oh, we're bad. It's just like, yo, they're human beings like us, and there are some things that we can fix, and it will make it a more pleasant experience for them to have a relationship with us if we can consider their feelings.
All right. Go to you, Jay. Why do you think society tends to respond differently to men and women who present themselves as victims?
And I think because we're supposed to be the strong ones or we're the protectors. So, you know, I mean, you think of that in terms of, you ever hear people say, you know, check on your strong friends. Like, when somebody appears to have it together, or you assume they have it together, you check on them less. You know, you're more catering to the person that is weak and timid and gullible, and, you know, because you feel you need to look after them more because they're more susceptible to stuff happening, versus a person is strong. You feel like, okay, the worst can happen, but they'll be able to deal with it. You know, you just assume that. Not that that's the truth, because we know that to not be true. You know, we walk around in our heads every day. You know, most men walk around in our heads every day, just thinking about a bunch of stuff. You know, some women that say, call it emotionally immature, but it's just us versus us in our heads. I think we talked about this on the Sunday show where we'll text each other, you know, what's good? Everything's good. A man is never gonna be like, yo, man, shit is fucked up. Girl just cheated on me. Yo, car just got put on a damn tow truck. You know, my car got taken away. Like, we're not about to say all that stuff. You know, whereas women are more vocal about when their world is crashing down in front of them. You're gonna know that. With men, nah, you're not gonna know that. That's why you have to build a circle around you that will know that know you well enough to be able to identify, okay, he's not doing good. You know, let's go out for lunch, or let's go out for a drive. You know, let's go to the gym. You have to create a circle of people around you that can see the alerts, so that when stuff is happening, they can identify it. Because 9 times out of 10, we're not going to say it. You know, it's ego. I'm not going to let Marcus know, yo, dog, I missed the past 5 mortgage payments. 5 months, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I might get off of work, dog, and my furniture might be on the front yard. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to say that. Like, so you have to create that circle, yo. Create that village, so they'll be able to tell, like, yeah, something's up.
All right. Go ahead, Brown Sugar. Brown Sugar, babe.
So I basically agree with everything that everyone's saying. Kind of what going along with what Jay said. You gotta kind of go about that type of energy with everyone, but definitely with men. Just kind of, you know, peeping the energy and just peeping, being able to peep the energy around you, and just seeing when it just needs to be a shift in energy. But definitely with men, because they do, y'all do have it, you know, a lot harder. And because you all are not vocal, like Jay said, and kind of internalize things, you do have to find that outlet for that person to kind of get it out. And I mean, it's nothing wrong with talking about it too. So I mean, if it come down to let's talk about it, let's talk about it. Or, you know, let's get into something else. But I feel like it has to be, even if it's not, I feel like you all as men should have another outlet. Even if it's just something like by yourself, like just don't internalize, all the pressure and the stress that just come with life, because the shit is hard. So at least have some type of habit, healthy habit, that you can release that energy. That's all I can say.
Yeah. It's nothing like when she say, you need to be released, right? It's a good feeling for me. M. White, what are some specific examples or experiences you've encountered that highlight the double standard and how victimhood is perceived based on gender?
So, one of my friends ended up getting shot, right? And while he was still like, he was out of the hospital and he was walking, but he wasn't fully okay. His woman was kind of looking at him like, bro, when you gonna get out here and make some money? I don't think a man would do that to a woman. I don't think that would occur. Yeah, I don't think that would occur. Another double standard in regards to that would be even the way, and I'm guilty of it, the way I would treat my kids. If my son falls and he's sitting there whining, I'm not gonna be as it's okay, baby, to him as I would be to my daughters, because I understand that he's gonna have to go in the world and it's gonna try and tear him down and attack him at every single angle. And he needs to build up a mental toughness and a physical toughness to be able to survive, just for his survival. So even though I may want to baby him and coddle him, I absolutely know that the world won't, and I'll be doing him a disservice by doing that to him. With my daughters, there's more understanding that could come because the world will show her more understanding. So it's absolutely a double standard. Hold on 1 second, baby. Yeah, he's on the computer. So it's absolutely a double standard. Yeah, it is what it is. It's some benefits to it too sometimes, but this, in regards to victimization, we don't really get to wave that flag and just be like, all right, it's okay, something happened to him. We're gonna always be told to get over it and grow from it. The powerful part of that is, though, I strongly believe that men are built through the processes that would be break others down. So something that could probably tear a woman apart, a man, if he comes through that on the other end, should be stronger than anyone. And I think that's nature and God's way of making sure that the men are equipped to handle whatever occurs within that household, to be the rock for that family. So I think it's divine the way it's set up like that. Oh, one other thing. Dude said you have 100 men in the village and you send 100 of them to war and one comes back, you can still have your society going on. I think that's because God made men naturally polygamous. But I digress.
Yeah, you got it, man. You want to know what it is? Because I know a lot of people talk about how men aren't vocal. Men are extremely vocal with our issues. We talk about it all the time. The problem is that a lot of people tend to not listen until men have had it. That's when people's like, oh shit, what's going on with this person? Maybe we need to listen to them. Every single time, every single word of truth saying fault, every single the Boston Tea Party, every single revolt, every single time a man has gotten violent over some shit, or every single time a man has gotten loud, or it's once he gets loud, that's when everybody wants to stop and listen. But he tried to tell you, calm, hey, please don't do that. Hey, we would like for y'all to do this for us. And this is just talking about society-wide. Man will sit there and say, hey, look, this is what we need from y'all. This is what we need from society. This is what we expect. Hey, we don't feel like, you know what I mean? We don't feel like we're getting our due justice over here. And everybody be like, fuck that. And then that man gets loud. And then men in general gets loud. And then all of a sudden everybody wants to listen. but he been talking the whole time. You just didn't want to listen until he got rah-rah with you. When he pulled his gun out, and all of a sudden, now everybody want to stop and listen. When they flipped them, when they threw the tea into the Boston River, that's when everybody wanted to stop and listen. But they've been telling you, stop taxing us like this the entire time. We don't like these taxes. We don't like what you're doing to us. Can you please not do this to us? And it was like, oh, y'all ain't gonna do shit until shit hit the fan. So men are very vocal. The problem is when do you decide to listen? Are you gonna listen when they're asking you nicely? Or are you gonna listen when they get violent with you?
So Sweeney, how can we better support men who feel victimized or are struggling without undermining their sense of masculinity or societal expectations?
Well, the problem is that you have to appreciate, there's a lack of appreciation for what men are and what they do for society. And it didn't used to be like that. At least here in this country. It used to be a time where men were appreciated. And not only that, but that appreciation came with a level of prestige for men. Made it worth fighting. Made the journey worth walking. Now what's happening is because you done neutered the man and told him, hey, look, we gonna make sure that we gonna make sure that you don't get to move the way that you need to move. And now they're saying, well, fuck it then. Now you're saying the workplaces they're lacking jobs and they can't even fill a lot of these jobs in. They can't, you know what I mean? Men are not trying to marry nobody no more. Men ain't even approaching anymore. It is because there's a there's a lack of appreciation for what men were and who men are. And once you take that away, and then not only that, you back that up with laws that neuter them, they're going to say, fuck it then. Until they get upset, until they get tired of it, and they flip some tables over.
My fault.
Can I ask a quick question? What is it that is being, like, based on what you said to me? Because I'm not a man, I don't know. What do you feel laws are being passed that makes a man not be able to be a man?
So, for example, just think of it as the social contract, right? The social contract is that men still have to be men, regardless of the situation. They still have to protect, they still have to provide, even if they are the victims in the situation. So, for instance, a good man is in a marriage. He's doing everything he's supposed to do. She's simply not happy. She leaves and leaves him he can't. Now he loses his children in the marriage because they go with her. Because he's been working 80 hours a week, so he's never been home. She has been. So he loses his kids, and now he done went from a dad in the house to a weekend dad. Then there's potential that he loses the home that he built with this woman. So that home goes away because you got to either sell it or give it to her. Then, you know what I mean? Then the financial aspect on top of that, because now not only does he have to pay child support for his child, but he has to now pay for a completely separate home to live in. That may be more than what he was paying when he had all 5 of his family in the house with him. So when men experience shit like that, and they say, damn, I thought I was doing everything right. And you're going to tell me that, hey, we don't give a fuck that she may not have been happy with you. You still got to be the man. You still got to be a man. That's just one instance. Another instance is the fact that even when we talk about male victimhood in certain situations, like being assaulted on the street, or male victims when it comes to like instances where, like, for instance, Cardi B openly admitted to drugging and robbing men, and in the world laughed at it. And men were like, hold on, that's not fair. That's not something she's supposed to be able to get away with. And you're telling me that she can get away with that and laugh and be able to get a record deal and be able to have a shoe deal with Reebok, even, you know what I mean? That's unfair. So when men say, hey, look, we deserve to be treated fairly in this society. If you're going to say that we have to treat them fairly, then you got to treat us fairly too. You don't get to tell men that, hey, you still got to be the man, but we're going to take the teeth out of you.
All right, so you're saying it's not specific laws. You're saying just more in terms of social conditioning.
Well, it is specific laws because like marriage laws and like that's the reason why you're starting to see laws change. You're starting to see no fault divorce get thrown out because men are fighting against that. You're starting to see things like what is it called? Paternity fraud laws come into play because men are starting to say, hey, look, this shit is unfair. I would even argue that the abortion law has a lot to do with the unfairness in reproductive rights. Where men was like, damn, we don't get to have no reproductive rights, so y'all don't get to have them either. Like you're starting to see like men are reacting to a lot of the laws and starting to change it, react to the way that the family dynamic has created a hostile environment for men. And they're reacting by trying to push back and change laws and things like that once favored women heavily and for their own reasons because women had their grievances back then, which made them change the laws to begin with. But now it was an overcorrection, and now men are saying, hey, look, this overcorrection got to be fixed.
All right, let me get Jasmine in there. Jasmine, in what ways can the media and popular culture shift the narrative around male victimhood to foster a more inclusive and supportive environment?
That's a loaded question, and it's late. But let's see. The media. Well, I guess they could just start believing men when they, come out and say certain things have happened to them. But then that would take, more men actually having the courage to speak up about things that are affecting them, because you can only, handle situations that are actually, you're only aware of what you're aware of. So we can't help and shift the culture if we're not, aware of what's going on. So I think that still plays into that whole toxic masculinity thing where they feel like, or not toxic, but just masculinity thing where they feel like I can't speak on my trauma. Like I actually had a situation with someone they said they were assaulted by a woman, and I questioned them a lot just because I feel like, oh, you're this size though, but you're this, you're that. Like why you couldn't do? And I could tell that he was closing in because he was feeling like, oh, you're not believing me, you're not listening to me, like you don't think that really happens to me. And I felt bad because I did that to him. So I was like, you know what? That was messed up. Because if it was a woman, I wouldn't even have asked all those questions. I wouldn't have even took him down that path. So I definitely think it's something that we have to start being more, empathetic to. And the media, we like to push propaganda anyway. So hopefully the media will be more empathetic to the situation as well.
All right, go ahead, Trev.
So, yeah, I agree with a lot of people on the panel as far as mistaking her sentiment as far as how people just don't really care about how men are feeling, right? And like you were saying, Marcus, we're kind of bred that way. Whereas it's like, you toughen up your son. We're already conditioning him to like different than our daughters. Whereas like, all right, this is what it's going to be. Nobody's going to care, and it's messed up because now they are already conditioned. They're already expecting it, so they're already going to kind of feel defeated in a way. I mean, I would imagine he also offered the context to say, well, you know what? This is why. And I think that's extremely important to at least tell them why, like, because we know they have to be tough, but at least with like handling my son, I'm usually giving the context where it's like, hey, this is just how men are treated. You're expected to do this, and this is why. And that's the best you can kind of do, just because you want to prepare him. You don't want to coddle him like Marcus was saying, because he's gonna get out in the world and nobody's gonna care. So unfortunately, you have to set him up that way. Just try to provide as much context as possible so he understands what this treatment is about. It's not because you don't love them. It's just because you're conditioning him, because the rest of the world is not going to give a damn about you. And it's a shame, but it is what it is. When we decide to express emotions, we're considered weak. So us as men, when we do feel like we're dealing with something, we just hold it. Like, hey man, look, I'm cool. Right. And we feel like in the back of our mind, like we're supposed to always be cool. Like we're never supposed to have those moments. And we don't really have a support system like that usually. Sometimes I think it's important to have other male friends that you can talk to about some things, right? People who you can trust with each other's secrets and your troubles that you're having, because at least if you have somebody who can kind of relate to you, will make you not feel as horrible as you may, or they may be able to come up with some resolutions for you. They might be able to help you out. And that's the best way to do it. There are some beautiful women who do understand and won't judge you for communicating that to them, but you have to know what it is you have, because one thing we do know is that many women will weaponize your secrets against you later on, the moment they get angry. And that creates a horrible situation. Now you know you can never trust this woman with your secrets again. So ladies, you have to be very careful when you weaponize his secrets against him. If he told you something in confidence, you have to cherish that and understand that he trusted you enough to be vulnerable with you. So you can never weaponize that, because he will never trust you again. You won't get that trust back, and he will never open up to you again. So you just have to be careful with that, and understand that men are just human beings as well, right? We don't display our emotions the same, but it doesn't mean we don't feel pain. It doesn't mean we don't feel stressed. It doesn't mean we don't deal with depression. There's so many different things and so much pressure on us as men, and what our expectations are, and our expectations are even growing, and it's become more and more competitive for us to survive and still provide as much as we can, like we were traditional, right? But it's tough because we feel like a lot of things were stripped away from us. Our value, in a way, has been stripped from us, because women now can provide for themselves, which is great. But at the same time, we lost when that happened, because women don't value that part as much. Right. So now you have to be more charismatic. Now you have to be taller. Now you have to be good looking. Social media only exacerbated the issue, because now you are compared to so many more men than you ever were before. Right. Women have plenty of options. They may not always be the best, but they will be the options that will stop you from having access to women. So we have to look at all of these things compiled against us. And you can't play victim. I never encourage people to adopt a victim mindset, because it's not going to get you anywhere. It doesn't make any sense for you, because it's not going to help you out of any situation. I think your best bet is to be a problem solver and have a network of problem solvers around you, people that you can trust, where you can get to better places than you are right now. You have to be around people who are advancing, because if you're in the right circles, people who are on the way up and doing things that are like you are doing, you can exchange ideas and get to a better place a lot sooner than if you try to do it yourself. And that's that's something that you don't want to do as a man. You don't want to bottle these up. I know someone mentioned earlier an outlet. I think it's extremely important for you to have a constructive outlet, whether it be something as simple as working out. Working out is a great thing, because when you start your day like that, let's say even if you just get up in the morning and only do 20 push-ups, it's going to get your blood flowing to your brain, so you can go in with a better mindset than you would if you just, lazing around, jump right in the shower, like just certain little things. Be conscious of what you put in your body. There are foods that make you more depressed, that give you more pain, that make you more inflamed, which will make you less productive. So we have to take every opportunity that we can to improve what we can as men. And if you need to talk to some people, then you do. I understand that there's a lot of men who need help. That's why when I do my things for free. As it is right now, I don't charge. If somebody needs to talk and they want to get to a better place, I offer that, because I genuinely want to help people in any way that I can, because I understand the struggles of it. I understand how people feel, and it's a very tough thing. I didn't have it together when I was in my teenage years. I was a completely different person. I dealt with things like depression and not understanding where I would fit into society and wondering why I don't get the results that I wanted to get. I had to make these improvements, but I had to seek it. And that's not going to work for everybody. Fortunately, I did have some great male leadership and some good examples to follow, but not everybody is afforded that. And that's why I think it's important for us as men to understand and try to help other men and females. We don't always expect sympathy, but we would love for you to at least try to empathize with us, just to get into that perspective to say, you know what is his day like? How could I make his life a little easier? How could I make his day go by a little smoother? Can I think of something that might help get him his way? Right? Because tough love is cool. We got that all our day lives, right? That's not what we're looking for out of women. We don't need anybody to down us. Downing us isn't going to help us improve in any way. You actually have the power to breathe life into a man sometimes. And I feel it's important that you try to do that versus tearing a man down, because it's dangerous. Right. And that's why you see people out here. They don't have the answers. When you see people do some wild stuff out there, go out there and just crash out, they probably were looking for answers and they didn't know what to do with that energy. And it got to the point where they gave up. We all have different thresholds. There's enough. I would say this. I think each and every one of us could get pushed to the point of no return, depending on how terrible our circumstances got in our own lives. So we just have to understand that not everybody is blessed with the same tolerance levels. Some of us have lower ones, and some of us weren't equipped, and some of us didn't have good role models or examples to follow. So it's going to be different. So we always have to just try to understand where that person is coming from, why they might be reacting the way that they are, and try to help them the best we could.
Let's get a question for the ladies real quick. Do you prefer for your man to tell you everything? Like if he's going through things, problems, issues, challenges throughout the day, do you say, hey, you can talk to him about anything? You got any issue, anything bother you, let me know? Like, do you really want to know that? Or if he's complaining every single day, all day about everything, like, would that be a problem for you?
I don't want him to tell me. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I would tell him, yeah, you can tell me anything for sure, but I don't want you complaining every day, because I mean, we can complain all day, every day. I can complain with you, but it's like, what is that going to solve? So I'd rather you just let me know, like, hey, I have this legit thing going on right now. I'm struggling with this mental crisis or something like that, and we can find some solutions for it. But just to come in complaining every day is not going to do anything but create a weird environment.
Go ahead, Brown. Too.
I mean, so what you talking about? Like, just you're legit saying like he's complaining every day?
Okay.
Or is he just bringing? If he has 1,000,001 things on his mind and he just talking to me about 1,000,001 things, then I guess we just talking about 1,000,001 things. I mean, I don't know.
Let me ask you this. Women have all sorts of intuition. And they are super snoopers and everything else when it comes down to if they think their man is cheating. So what I would suggest, and not anybody on the panel per se, I'm just saying in general, ladies have that ability, right? That intuition, right? That you could be detectives. So if you think your man cheating, you're going to find out everything about him. I would say channel that same energy into seeing what's going on with him. He don't always have to tell you, because he might not have that trust in you yet. But if you really, really, really about that, just take that same energy that you would if you thought he was cheating, that same intuition, that same detective spirit, and find out what's good with your man. You'll be able to find out if you really want to know. I promise you. You just look into it. Sometimes you can ask, and I think it's important to have that open line of communication. But he has to build that trust with you, because we're so used to suppressing what it is that we feel that there's almost no place that's a safe space in our minds for a lot of us.
This why it's so important, like Trey saying, for the trust. I hear people talk about the relationships or the victimization of men and the way in which it's perceived. Because I was reading the chat and someone was talking about like weaponizing like trauma, or feeling like, you know, if you explain that you're going through something, it's going to come out on the negative end of that person weaponizing that against you. Like that's a real fear, and it does happen in relationships. And this is similar to like you're dating somebody, or you're supposed to be
I have 3 boys, a 4-year-old, 2.
when you're supposed to be the other half for somebody, you take upon yourself the responsibility of being there for them in all ways, shapes, and forms. And I think if we aren't able to approach relationships with that mentality, then we can't have successful relationship, because it wouldn't be seen as us complaining if we discussing something where we're trying to get to a end result, right? But if you're constantly discussing it with no end result in the path, and you're just talking about it ad nauseum, then yeah, we'll be complaining. But which can later be weaponized against you if the person that you're with does not fully trust you, or you all fall out. It's it's a hard thing. So if you can't develop a relationship like that, I kind of get why some people would say like we don't have anything of value to hold against the woman in a relationship, or against the man in a relationship, to enact a consequence. But that's because there's no actual attachment occurring. Like when you remove yourself from somebody that's actually attached to you, all of that stuff matters. Like they one, when you're together, care about how you feel, they care about what you're going through. And 2, when you're not together, they're wondering about you and they're worried about you. I think the focus making a connection so that it doesn't come off as victimization is just sharing what would need to be shared within a relationship. If that makes sense. I kind of jumped all over the place, but
yeah, like it makes a lot of sense to people that have sense, but it's a lot of people that's living in fear. So like they can't never get to that level of trust. Just the same way people can't get to that level of like intimacy. You know, it's like different frequencies and different levels to a lot of things involving relationships. But by the time the older people get, and the most single they stay, they got the guards up, they're in fear. So if you come talking to them about a situation or a problem, like they may look at that as you complaining, or they may begin to feel unsafe because there's a concern, and I already didn't have that necessary trust because we only been together for about a year and a half, and I just didn't really expect. I thought you had it all together. So I just think it's just different. It's all about mindset, man. People got to change the way that they think, and that's most of the world. But a lot of people don't operate like that. So you're gonna keep repeating the same things over and over again, where people get fearful. Trust is not there, so they're looking for something, finding anything so that they can self-sabotage, and they can exit left. And then they go hop into the next relationship and they're doing the same thing. So this is going to really take, I'm hoping this conversation that we have, and even if you are one of those people that do that you really think about this. And I guess that must have been a whole word, huh? Guess I spoke to somebody. I touched the soul right there. But yeah, it's just gonna take like a lot of adjustments and people getting uncomfortable to be able to grow with that mindset that Marcus just spoke about. All right, Brown Sugar, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
I don't know what's going on with you, man. You just silent, man. I go read these super chats, then. Brown Sugar seems pretty dry right now. So, AP Accountability Partner $20 says, as a celebrity would say, "I knew you would say that," from modern day stars like Jay-Z, Kendrick Lamar, Rick Ross, Nicki Minaj, to old school legends such as Ice Cube, Raekwon, Master P, Busta Rhymes, and Mos Def. Thank you, AP. Advanced Perception, $2 says, even with all the deaths, people still get BBLs. That's just like cigarettes, man. And everything else that we do, people are going to continue to do what they want to do because they wrong. They're going to continue doing what they want to do. Unless they get a scare. I asked somebody today if you was to get some bad news about a terminal illness, would you stop smoking and drinking? They said, probably not. I said, damn, messed up. There's a lot of people that think like that. AP Accountability Partner $5 says Trump and his brand were name dropped by top artists in hip hop for nearly 30 years, and several mentioned him more than once. Thank you, AP. And AP again, $5 says a whole generation of women looking like a character from the movie Ants. That's a fact. That's a fact, man. That booty just don't look right. They gotta watch it looking like that because they ain't got no more money. They spent it on that bogus ass procedure with somebody that wasn't qualified. Then they go up in their relationship and tell that man that he ain't qualified for you. But the person that did that ass, I guess he was qualified. Or she. Or it. Maybe it was a machine. Who knows? Technology is advanced now, so never know who worked on that ass.
It just puts you in a
Every
tube.
time you get when you get late, y'all. So emotion on y'all faces. People clear that.
Yeah, everybody got their hat low, like
and off. Anyhow, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's make sure we support each other. It's been a long ass day. Long day. And we're gonna take an intermission in about 5 minutes. We're gonna start part 2. Another 3 hours.
What's going on here?